My cousins are like they're super huge college fans. I'm not the biggest college fan, but I love March Madness.
Okay.
Okay.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Wombo Combo Show. Ben here.
Ben Yukon is here.
And special guest today, we brought in Nate. He's back.
He's back, baby.
We had to drag him. We had to drag him back over. Like, come on, dude. Do we smell that
Absolutely.
bad?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, my goodness.
No. Love being here. Love being back.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, no, it's nice having you back. man.
Absolutely.
Nice having you back.
So, guys, a little bit to talk about today. I mean, we talked about a lot last week. Obviously, Nate, you're maybe caught up with us, but
No, yeah,
a lot of moves have been going on, and we've been kind of covering them. We've been doing a series called the 32 for 32.
Been watching.
Breaking down each team. So we've kind of been touching every single
Touching a little
note.
bit. We've been getting
So there's
Every
been a lot
nook and
of it.
cranny
not a
has
huge
been.
deep dive, but we dive.
Yeah.
But I mean, and at the same time, there's been a lot. One thing that has happened since the last episode, and since we dropped the Seattle Seahawks 32 for 32.
I haven't done that yet.
Oh, you haven't?
No, I haven't.
All
done
right,
that
well,
yet.
then it'll be included in that one. So
Yes.
guess what? You'll get to see this again soon. Is the Cooper Kupp signing your favorite wide receiver,
Yes,
your
yes,
favorite
it
player?
is.
How do you feel about him going to the Seahawks, the rival team? And then I have some funny stuff to add about this.
I mean, he was the only reason why I was a Rams fan, so now it looks like I have to be a Seahawks fan.
Yeah.
So that's
Sam Darnold.
Yeah, right. Like, don't get me wrong. I still like the Rams. I still like Matt Stafford and Puka Nacua. I love the Adams signing for them.
Yeah.
But that just made room for Cup to leave or whatnot. So,
100%.
but
100%.
I think it's a nice pickup for the Seahawks. Someone
the spot.
fills a spot. Someone to take some pressure off of JSN, so he's not the only guy there.
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%.
So-
I would say I think it's a good signing. Just like you said, I think he replaces Tyler Lockett. Do you know Tyler
I
Lockett well?
remember Tyler Lockett.
Yeah, Tyler Lockett. He got
my
cut.
Mm-hmm.
He's I think still a free agent
He's
right
still
now.
he's still a free agent.
I'm imagining he ends up on the Raiders. That's my hot take on that. But I think the Cooper Kupp is a comparable option to a guy like Tyler Lockett in the sense that he is a reliable hands, reliable catcher. You know what I mean? Short
agree.
route runner. You know what I mean?
I agree.
No,
Sticks.
Tyler Lockett was a deep threat.
Yeah, he was a bit of a deep. I don't think at this stage of his career he was.
Well,
a deep
no,
threat,
because
though.
he's lost a step, and Cooper Kupp has also lost a step as well. But Cooper Kupp was never like a deep threat type.
yeah.
He was
Yeah, he
always
was
like
always slot.
He was always slot, running quick slants, quick zigs,
I kind of
and
consider
and drag routes that he would take to the house.
I guess so. I would kind of consider their deep route guy to be more of DK Metcalf when he came into the play. Maybe before him though. Yes, Tyler Lockett.
Yeah,
definitely their
before
deep route, yeah.
DK.
DK
yeah.
was an insane burner though.
Yeah.
Like I mean, but also I mean, right now going back to what you said about him being a replacement for Tyler Lockett, I think more so in the veteran aspect, right?
Yes.
So for
Absolutely.
JSN, like you said, giving him somebody to really learn from, so he's not the only one, but also not necessarily having an adult in the room like some other teams.
No,
But,
absolutely.
you know,
absolutely.
that gives them that mature person for him to really learn from and gain a lot of.
Yeah, it's like having a mentor, and I think I agree with you in the sense that as you said this, I thought about this. JSN's probably going to be taking over that wide receiver room, right?
1,000%.
Yeah.
He's going to be.
He
the
already
lead.
did.
Right.
Yeah.
So, is it not great to have a really good guy in the locker room
Exactly.
who's going to be listening when you talk, isn't going to be taking things foolishly, is going to be serious, and I think that's what Cooper Kupp is going to be. I think
Yeah.
it's going to be a great ad for that.
Yeah.
Speaking of replacements, I know how he kind of feels about this. Do you think that Geno Smith being replaced by Sam Darnold, of all people, is a good replacement? Just a little bit while you're thinking on that. I will add, I looked up Sam Darnold's contract. He is in a prove-it year, first year of his contract. I don't know if you knew that. His contract is set up so that if he doesn't do anything this year, they can just dump him next year for like
Perfect.
real cheap.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a lateral move. I don't think it's like an
Agreed.
upgrade in the sense that he's like so much better than Geno.
It's only an upgrade because of the age.
That's it.
Right.
That's it. You know, he has a higher ceiling.
Yeah.
because of the age.
I would say he has a higher. Maybe I agree with you that he has a higher ceiling because of the age. I would say that if you were looking for who is the better quarterback right now, personally, I would take Geno, and the reason would be because he has the ability to get out of the pocket and move the ball. Whereas we've seen with Sam Darnold in that playoff game against the Rams, sacked 8, 9 times.
Yeah,
held the ball for 10 years.
So,
he might still be holding the ball.
That Vikings
No, he
O-line
definitely
is
is still holding the ball. I mean, exactly. So, like I said, lateral move, and I was actually surprised that Seattle moved from. But after they moved on from DK, I understood.
Right.
They're kind of but then I don't know, what are they doing?
Yeah. So, did you happen to hear that what the initial trade was supposed to be that Seattle wanted to do with the Raiders?
No.
So they wanted to send DK and Geno as a pair just for Max Crosby. And maybe some super late round flips. Like, I'll give you my fourth, you give me your third kind of crap. You know what I mean? And then another thing that I
wonder how Khan is funny.
Yeah.
Omar is funny,
And
man.
so he came in when they said, "Oh, that's not working out. Well, let me throw you a second since you're already going to get rid of DK, and I'll take him off your hands."
Khan's good.
Go ahead.
I like Omar Khan, man. I really do.
Yeah.
Everyone is like, because of the quarterback situation that we're in right now.
Right.
But then you look back to the 90s before we got Ben.
Mike Tomczak, Cordell Stewart. I mean, yeah, O'Donnell.
Maddox.
Yeah.
It was like that until we got Ben. Sometimes teams just go through that. But I don't mean to get
real
too
quick
stale
on
with it.
a quarterback issue. I don't think that was a Khan
No,
thing. I think that's a Mike Tomlin thing.
No,
I really do.
No, I think it was a Colbert thing because he was the one that was ultimately
I'm talking about this year.
You mean letting Justin go?
Like literally this year, just this year. I think it was an issue that Mike Tomlin did not trust Justin Fields.
1,000%.
Yeah.
I don't know
And
why.
we
I
love-
mean, he likes veteran quarterbacks, but also he wants somebody who's mobile. Where are you gonna find that, Mike?
Yeah, I'll say this. On Justin Fields, on the topic of Justin Fields, and if it was Khan's fault that we're in the scenario that we're in, no, I don't believe that Khan is at fault for the situation that we're in because what was he supposed to draft or acquire outside? If you look at the free agents that are in the free agency this year, they're all bums. They're all they're all old or they're bums. I mean, the best guy who was available this offseason, let's be realistic, is probably Jameis Winston. He's the youngest with the most amount of talent.
Which is crazy. Yeah. It's terrible. I hate to say that because I'm not trying to see a Steelers quarterback throw 37 interceptions.
Yeah. Now, on the second point of not trusting Justin Fields to throw the football, I think you may have said that one.
Yeah.
So I don't think that it was not only that he didn't trust him to throw the football down the field, Justin Fields did not trust himself to throw it down the field, and that is actually why he lost his starting job. Because if you look at the games that he played, the 4-2 record that he had, yes, that on paper is great. Who won those games, though? A lot of the defense. There was a lot of the defense.
It's always the defense. It's always the defense. I'll never.
That's Pittsburgh Steelers.
It should always be the defense.
Right. But here's the problem that was at hand if you looked at the opposite side of the field at the statistics for Justin Fields in those games.
Mm-hmm.
Barely eclipsed 200 yards. What does that remind you of? Kenny P. Right? So it wasn't an upgrade. It wasn't because he's good on his legs, and I just said that about Geno Smith a moment ago. Yes. And that's why I wanted him back.
But look,
does he have
but that's what I'm saying. Remember when I was here before and we first got Justin?
Yes.
And I said I would love it if we could get Russ and Justin for multiple years.
Right, and that was the initial plan that they had.
Right. Because it makes sense when you get a brand new coordinator, keep the quarterbacks around,
right.
Let them develop in the system.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. It made more sense. Again, I don't know if it's Tomlin. It might be.
It kind of is.
I got a quick thing on that.
I think it's 100%
we know it is.
Tomlin.
You and I are both Tomlin lovers. We both like Tomlin a lot.
And
but
this
we have to
year,
admit when he's doing stuff
weird.
No,
and that this year is the first year where I ever looked at him really kind of sideways.
Yeah, dude, because you're like, hey, man, Like if we signed Aaron Rodgers, that is only.
Speaking of that, Derpy in chat, Aaron Rodgers, because he wants Permane Brothers to do some kind of double.
Oh.
Money star.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness! I see him in there. He wants them to have a discount doubles witch sandwich because of Aaron Rodgers and the discount double
And
check.
then the Justin Fields thing, the one reason I should be in Discord is because you guys can't hear me talk up there.
Yeah.
But Justin Fields, I feel like the only thing we're not there every day in the practice room. So I
Yeah.
don't know,
True.
what else did Tomlin see? Maybe they said something to him and he just didn't get it. And it was like, okay,
Yeah.
that was, you know what I mean? We're gonna find out in Jets because if he balls out, we're looking at
So, 'cause
No,
it doesn't make any sense.
yeah, exactly,
100%.
exactly.
It really doesn't make
exactly.
any sense with us not signing Justin Fields because he was loved in that locker room.
And also,
The guys liked him.
the rhetoric from the team itself was, we want a young, mobile quarterback.
Yes,
It
they
came-
said that at the end of the year.
It came out of Rooney's mouth.
Yes. Oh, thank you so much for saying that.
No, you're not.
And then we let the young, mobile
What's up, Sean?
quarterback go to.
the Jets.
It's not hell, it's purgatory.
Right.
Kenny with the hell.
And now the Steelers are
Yeah,
possibly going to
facts,
sign
facts.
an old Aaron Rodgers who's not as mobile as he used to be, or even there's been rumors about signing Joe Flacco, who has literally been a statue his entire career in the pocket.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, I would rather have Joe Flacco than Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, I kind of am with you on that, but Joe Flacco looked horrible at the end. But still, Aaron didn't look much better, so I agree with you. Here, let me ask you this: on the quarterback situation for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now we've kind of talked a little bit about whether it's Tomlin's fault, whether it's Khan's fault. We kind of agree. I think that it's not Khan's fault. You don't think that it's Khan's fault, do you? Or do you?
I think we all agree that it's not necessarily Khan's
You
fault.
don't think it's Khan's fault? either?
I think it's a combination of all three.
Okay.
I don't think it's solely on anyone. And you guys seen the report about the player grades for the facilities and everything?
Yeah, we got the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get the worst. I mean, did you hear Najee Harris rip us apart in his initial interview with the Chargers?
Did I?
Yeah, he took shots. I heard them.
Either way.
he was gonna take shots regardless.
Prime his facilities, and he was gonna go there and bitch and moan no matter what.
Which is completely
He's
fine.
allowed, right?
Here's
Yes,
one
No,
for you.
he's perfectly allowed.
Yeah,
him with
he's
his,
definitely allowed.
Him and his 3.8 yards per carry average,
And
and being the slowest starting running back in the league.
And I love him to death. And
I have his
will-
jersey.
Yep, I love him to death. But you can't argue the stats. Like,
No, you can't.
yes, 4 straight years of 1,000 yards. I applaud you.
Yeah, with 10
But
million
it's
attempts.
It's 2025. You never missed
Yeah.
a game. Like,
Yeah, and you're getting 3.9
They
a carry.
added a game.
yeah, and you're big as a lineman. Come on, bro. You should be.
So-
but also, again, that goes back to new coordinator. What are we doing? Why are we trying to run a
Power offense with 3 tight ends all the
Why
time.
are we trying to run a 8 counter on 3rd and 2 with Najee Harris?
Yeah, who can't
With-
run more than 5 miles an hour?
Literally, like, just put him up in the middle, bro.
Yeah.
Get him up in the
Just
guts.
run the gut.
Speaking on the Steelers practice facility and everything like that,
Mm-hmm.
when Kyle Juszczyk
Mhm.
came and visited, probably saw the facilities like, nah, I'm gonna go back to San Fran.
Yeah.
100%.
No, that's crazy.
Um,
That's
Like,
crazy.
That's literally why we probably didn't even give an offer.
That's
the Kyle
crazy because
Juszczyk.
I seen a report that we signed him, and then I was like, "There's no way."
Yeah, there's no way.
Oh,
There's
dude,
no
there's
way.
so many fake
Coming from
reports out
California
there.
to
Crazy.
Pittsburgh.
Like, it's crazy how many fake reports are out there, bro.
I hate it.
Like-
I hate it so bad. Like, social media is such a double-edged sword right now.
100%.
It's
100%.
so gross. It's so gross.
I wanted to bring up something that they have in chat here. A couple of the guys are talking on the point of kind of the Pittsburgh Steelers. One of them brought up a potential guy. So we don't. I know that we all don't really like the old heads who are still available. So looking forward into the draft, one of our viewers, Jordan, he's a Saints fan, but he's also
too.
he's a Milrow fan. He likes Milrow,
No.
and he's wondering if the Pittsburgh Steelers, because they want to go after a mobile quarterback, if they would consider Milroe in maybe like a second, third round pick role. I would see him as a second, third, fourth round pick. I do not see him as a first round
So
pick at all.
the problem is we don't have a second round pick anymore.
But I
Right.
have a feeling that
We would trade up or trade pick.
We would-
yeah, I think that
If
we,
we trade
might
Pickens.
trade back. Yeah, I think somebody might want to get that 21st in the first for somebody.
I just don't think Jackson. They're all saying Jackson Dart. Excuse me, Jackson Dart in the first. That is too big of a reach.
I've
I think.
heard that
Yeah.
too.
And I love Jackson Dart. I think
What
he's,
about-
I think he can be a
you-
good player in the league.
Do you think
Right.
Genty can fall to us at 21?
Ooh.
Is it possible? Is it
Man.
possible?
If Ashton Genty could fall to the Pittsburgh
If he
Steelers
falls-
at 21, I imagine they take him. It looks like Derpy says he wants Nick Chubb, who's still available, so that would nix that for him. Who would you rather
Yeah.
have? Let me ask
So,
you that one.
if-
Nick Chubb or Ashton Genty? Which one would you rather?
Genty. It's not
You'd
even a
rather
question.
have
Yeah,
Genty?
it's
even a
really not
question. It's
close.
Genty.
And I
Or
love
the other
Nick
kid.
Chubb, but like literally he has no legs.
Yeah, his
or,
legs busted.
or the other kid, Hampton.
Omarion Hampton from
Yeah.
North
Yeah, I like
Carolina.
that
too.
He's also really
He,
good.
those two are the only
yeah,
running
yeah.
backs really worth of a first round pick.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
1000%. So then in like, oh no, we don't have a fourth round either, do we?
We do have a fourth
do
round
have
from the
fourth.
Rams trade.
Oh, okay.
We do. They're saying
I
in
know-
chat the Raiders are definitely going to take Genty. That's where they
I
think
think so.
Genty goes. is
I
the
think so.
Raiders.
Yeah, that's why I'm like,
They
man.
haven't signed
Yeah.
one yet.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
that's
mean?
yeah, that's
So-
yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
So, I was just agreeing. How,
you
you're looking
think
at me like I'm
Oh,
gonna say,
I
I had
thought
something
you-
to say. All right. Like,
I thought you were elaborating on a point there. My fault.
no,
dude.
no, we had elaborated enough.
So, what do you guys think, guys? We're gonna pull up a draft here a little bit later. What do you think is going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers move in the first round positionally? You don't have to give me the player. Give me the position you think at
D
21.
tackle.
D tackle.
I think so.
Interior defensive
I
lineman.
think so.
I kind of agree with you there. It's either that or it's got to be a wide receiver. Ben, how do you feel?
If they don't draft a D tackle or D lineman in
Mm-hmm.
the first round, I would want them to trade out of the first round
Completely.
completely.
Okay.
Get Jackson Dart in the second.
Get Jackson Dart in the second. Okay. Yeah, I was seeing that. He says Sanders, Quinn Ewers, or Will Howard.
They also like
Yeah,
Will
yeah.
Howard.
Wait,
But
wait.
Will
Somebody
Howard's
said
like a-
Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys think Shador would fall to the Steelers? And if he did,
You're excited. I can tell you are.
if he did fall to the Steelers, do
Mm-hmm.
you think Dion would let him come to the Steelers?
I think that Dion would let him come to the Steelers.
definitely do.
I think that so let me dig on this one with you, okay?
All right.
Because I think that I know that you've seen the Ryan Clark comment, right?
Yeah.
So what I feel on that topic is this: is that we all know that there are teams like the Pittsburgh Steelers who are later in the draft who want a player like that to fall to them. Okay. And who does Ryan Clark like?
He loved, yeah.
The Steelers, right?
I know.
So what do we do? We create a little drama. You put a little. They do this every year to
Do you
somebody.
Really, do you really think? Do you?
I don't think that it's possible, but I think that the idea that he's getting slandered right now is not realistic, and it's all later round teams, later in the draft teams, throwing that information out there to try to get him to fall. That's how that works, bro.
I know.
Justin
it is.
Jefferson fell the whole way, dog. Like you
I
remember
want-
this,
I
right?
want-
And
I
he was
want
a
him so
dog
bad.
at LSU.
I want him. I would love to see Shador in black and gold. I know a lot of people.
It would be hard to do. We would have to trade our first and third, and probably have to move up to like 13. I'm not
not if he falls.
If
But
he
I
falls.
don't see him falling. I
don't see him
I think
falling.
the Giants, either the Giants
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
are going
too.
to take him,
That's what I was thinking.
or
too,
even
because
the Titans surprise the world and take him number 1 overall.
Cool. They're saying in chat. They're saying in chat that they think Dart scares them. That they think that he's a Will Levis-esque character.
I believe that.
Yeah,
I do
so
believe that.
I
so
kinda with you
so
on that one.
so how about this then? Because we know 2025 isn't the greatest quarterback year. So
You got Archie Manning at best. If he
What-
does, if he wants to leave.
what if we tried to go and get Milton?
I think Milton, but I wouldn't take him for a third round pick. Actually, I went and called in and was talking to the fan on Saturday. And I was talking to them about that. I don't think Milton is worth a third-round pick. He's only played one professional football game, and he
I
played
agree.
against the backups of the Bills in that football game. So you basically seen him in a preseason game,
Right.
right?
Right.
Sure. Is he athletic? Yes. Have you ever seen him play at Tennessee?
Yeah.
Because he's either throwing the rock for 100. He's Jameis Winston, is what I'm getting at.
So,
A more athletic James.
Yeah, he's more athletic Jameis Winston.
younger, more athletic Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
We know there's no quarterback.
Ready? I'm gonna kill your whole entire argument. When is the last time the Pittsburgh Steelers developed a young quarterback?
No, I'm not talking about develop a young quarterback.
okay.
Wait. Use him to wait.
Okay, use him
to back
as a
up.
bridge.
Yeah, use
Okay.
him to back up Mason.
Okay.
You know, like we don't have options right now.
There
We
aren't a
have
lot.
No options right now.
I got
No,
a hot
there
one
are
for you.
none because we don't want Russell back.
No.
We're not going to get Jamies. We're not like it's not.
If I was gonna say the Steelers could do anything that is wild and crazy and available at this time that you haven't heard, is I've said this before too. Is trading for K1. Kyler Murray's on a team that doesn't they don't have anything around him.
That's
James Conner,
Well, McBride,
so-
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Marvin Harrison Jr. kind of flunked out.
the
though.
only
In
other
his
time.
rookie
Rookie
year,
year.
in his
His
rookie
rookie
year.
year.
The only other time I heard that was like at the very beginning of like free agency.
Yeah, I know it's a far shoot.
How would we? What?
This year's first, next year's first, you get them.
They want a haul.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They
I think
would
that was
have
what you
to.
do. This year's first, next year's first, you get them. That's all you'd have to send.
They're just gonna wait. They're gonna. Dick
No,
around. We're gonna
but-
dick around to a 7-9 or whatever fucking season, and we're gonna draft
Probably.
a quarterback next year and hope.
And as much as I do love Kyler Murray, I
Probably.
don't love
9 and
his
8 coming
size.
up.
I don't love his size. As a smaller guy, I don't love his size at quarterback.
Kyler Murray, you don't love his size. I can understand that. I love his legs.
I love his legs.
He's fast as hell, dude. What's that?
Hey, is he gonna be like 40 a year? I don't know what.
It
He'll-
doesn't
he would be
matter
like a
'cause
30-year guy, yeah.
He's not like. I mean, he took some hits, but he hasn't really.
He's got the juice.
Yeah.
He got his biggest problem coming out was
He's like a
he was-
healthy Tua.
Yeah, he was real good, and then he got too distracted by Call of Duty and wasn't focusing on film. That's literally
Literally it. And
that's
baseball.
literally it. And baseball, yeah. Which he could have fallen back on baseball. I think that Kyler Murray would be a great pick. It's unrealistic.
I
but
think
that-
it's pretty unrealistic. I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
right. I mean, did you think we were going to trade for DK Metcalf 2 weeks ago? No.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, exactly. So
No.
anything is available. If the Steelers get up in the draft and who they want is not
DK
there,
oh my
who
God, I love
knows?
that.
It could be a
Yeah.
possibility.
I mean, if Shedeur falls to the Steelers at 21
Yeah.
and the Steelers don't trade out, I could see them taking Shedeur.
How would you feel about that though?
I would be
I wouldn't
okay
hate
with
it. I wouldn't hate it at all.
I don't think that he actually has an attitude
Uh,
problem. You have to
uh,
remember.
yeah,
No
I
way.
mean,
He's a
like,
professional.
Dude, and not only that, like he's played with his dad.
Yeah. So I mean,
You can't have no attitude problem with your dad.
no. So
Maybe a
I
little bit of
wouldn't.
special treatment though.
Yeah.
Definitely
I think
special-
it would.
oh,
I
you're
think
getting
it
special
would
treatment.
be. It would be a steal to get Shedeur at 21.
I think so.
I think so.
think so.
I don't think he
So-
would be available.
Now, does he develop into a good NFL quarterback? That's iffy.
There's a lot
I mean, it's
to
always
be
iffy.
desired.
It's always iffy for these quarterbacks coming out and whatnot, unless even
But-
the surefire ones aren't even like
we
100%
drafted
sure.
a Colorado quarterback one time, guys.
We
You know
did,
this, right?
Cordell Stewart.
We drafted Cordell Stewart.
True.
No,
I think he might have been the last really good
But he got
Colorado quarterback too. I
okay.
can't think of one off the top of my head that came out of the draft. It's possible, but I don't remember any other good ones. You know what I mean?
yeah, no,
It's Colorado.
yeah.
no true.
But who would you comp him to?
Shedeur?
Shedeur. If you were to compare him to an NFL, I would say he's Geno Smith. To be completely realistic,
That's a
with you.
good one. That's a really good one.
I think that
Yeah.
might be the
I don't
pretty
think. I don't
mobile.
think he has.
actually
He's not as
actually,
mobile as Geno Smith,
Right.
but
It's funny because I went back and I watched some old Geno highlights from West Virginia.
Dude, in West Virginia, he was a dog.
yeah.
He was
And
so good.
Shedeur reminds me a lot. His play style reminds me a lot of that.
I'm trying to think who his wide. He had a really good wide receiver with him there.
I can't remember. What
can't
his name
remember
was
who it
because
is.
they never had their names.
No.
I hated
Wasn't
that.
it Austin?
I don't know if it might have been Tavon Austin for 1 year, but I don't think it was for all of them. Derpy says Tyler Show. I think it's Show or maybe Shoe. He's another rookie option.
SH.
SHOUGA.
They had the running back.
It's Shock.
Steve Slayton.
It's Shock. It's Tyler Shock.
Yes.
They had the running back, Steve Slayton.
Yes.
He ended up on the Patriots, right?
Yeah.
Yes, he didn't have he had injury problems. He couldn't stay
Yeah.
healthy, but he was a dog.
Yeah, he was a dog in
at
college.
WVU.
I do like Derpy. I do like Tyler Show. They brought him in.
It's Shock.
What's that?
It's Tyler Shock.
Shog?
Shock.
Shock.
Yeah, like Shock.
Oh,
Shock.
okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was like shoot.
Tyler Shock.
No.
That's,
Shock.
that's the kid from Louisville.
I think he's from Louisville. Yeah. He's a later round pick. Another guy that I really like is the kid out of Syracuse. I like him as well.
McCord.
Yeah, McCord,
Colin
and the
McCord.
dude out of Indiana as well. I also like him, but he would be like a
His name escapes
undrafted,
me.
undrafted or 7th round pick. But he's another option out there. If you look at PFF grading, what I was looking at for the Pittsburgh Steelers was strictly deep ball quarterbacks. Not really as much because I mean we're gonna have George Pickens and DK
Yeah,
Metcalf. And our third is Tavon Austin, or not Tavon Austin,
Calvin Austin.
Calvin Austin. Kind of like
And-
Tavon Austin, but
And Roman Wilson.
and Roman
Like,
Wilson, who's
yeah,
never
it's-
existed. So I
Not
just
yet.
imagine it's going to be shoot and run.
What? It's,
Like run and shoot the entire time. That's even a playbook in
Yeah.
Madden. It's called that.
Yeah.
Michael Hooman's got a question in TikTok chat.
Thoughts on Brady Cook? I don't know about Brady Cook, dude. I feel like that's just he's the quarterback, if I'm not mistaken, from Missouri. I would say he's like a 4th or 5th round pick. The offensive style that they play in, it's not bad. He had Luther Burden in college, the speedster wide receiver. He's
Yep,
supposed
yep,
to go like top 10.
Yeah.
I just don't know if I would want him as someone that comes in immediately. However, I will say, I said this last week. Ben may remember this. Do you remember when the Seahawks signed Flynn from the Green Bay Packers?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
do you remember
yeah.
what immediately happened after that? Immediately happened after that.
No.
So Flynn got a big contract after throwing a 6 or 7 touchdown game at the end of the season. Goes over to the Seahawks from the Green Bay Packers, and then the Seahawks draft Russell Wilson in the 3rd round, and he ends up taking the starting job.
That is
So
right.
guess what?
I forgot.
Sammy
That
Darnold
is right.
If I think Cook goes anywhere, I think he follows the path of Russell Wilson, and he ends up in Seattle in a 3rd round pick in Seattle because they have an extra 3rd round pick
Yeah.
from
That
Geno
would-
Smith. And
oh,
why not
okay.
take a quarterback with that
man.
3rd round pick? I know I'm Nostradamus, dog. Let's,
Yeah,
I know.
wow. Yo, that's crazy.
I'm telling you.
That's crazy.
It's a high possibility. I like Brady Cook going
Yeah,
up
okay.
there. I like him up there because remember we said at the beginning of the show, Sam Darnold is on a
Prove it, yeah.
lease contract. Yeah, it's $100 million, but the first year is like
Yeah.
we'll pay
That's-
you, and if
The
you don't
contract
do good,
has no dead money to it.
yeah, you're out.
So they could cut him and they wouldn't lose any
That
money.
is so funny.
Yeah,
They
there's a lot.
literally did that on paper just to drive the market. They're so good.
You know who else did that?
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
I got something to talk about with
Yeah,
that right here. My
yeah.
second topic of the day. I think we kind of skipped over it because we got so deep into what we were on.
Yeah, we went hard in the Steelers talk and then went on to
this-
WVU for a second. And
This is still
we're all over the
this is
place.
still Steelers talk. This is still Steelers talk. And before I get into it, Flock says we should sign Trey Lance. I do not want Trey Lance.
No.
I heard that too.
No.
That is absolutely like it was
Just-
the same thing.
just
When
no.
have we ever
Yeah.
developed a young quarterback?
Just-
Exactly.
Just
Michael.
No.
Michael is a Titans fan. He wants he has you the Titans drafting Burden in your mock draft. Michael, stick around. We're going to do a mock draft towards the end of the show here today. We're going to take a look, just 1st round for every single team, and we'll get everybody's opinion on who they think is going to go where. Moving on to my next topic, though, guys, I wanted to talk about the Bengals, the money that they just chalked out, the news that they still have going on with a high-end defensive player, and also what the Pittsburgh Steelers have done to cause these two boys to get more money than they were going to get before. So, first off, I kind of talked to you about this a little bit, Ben, but I wanted to fill you in on this. I'm kind of into those like rabbit holes, like
the chess moves.
What
yeah,
really
yeah,
happened
the 4D
behind here?
chess moves. Yeah.
So not only did the Pittsburgh Steelers, like we talked about earlier, get involved when they heard that the Seahawks were shopping, right? So after the Seahawks couldn't get deal done with the Raiders and the pair for Max, they trade 2nd round pick over. They get DK. What do they do immediately, which the Pittsburgh Steelers have never done before? They sign him to a 5-year, $150 million contract. Wait, this is the chess piece, my
Oh, wait,
friend.
there's more.
This is the chess piece. Because guess what? Guess who hadn't signed either of their contracts yet?
Chase or Higgins.
And so what did the Pittsburgh Steelers do? Within their own division, they drove up the wide receiver market on the Cincinnati Bengals before they could sign either of their guys, causing them to have to pay even more money than before.
Yeah.
Chess pieces, not checkers, my guy.
It's really funny, too, because obviously Jamar was going to get his money.
Oh, he was going to get the bag regardless, yes.
But T, though.
T,
He was going to get his money, but
was
I
gonna get
didn't
money.
know if he was going to get his money with Cincinnati.
right, because the Patriots were already made it known.
Bro, so many people were salivating for him.
Yeah.
Patriots saved
So
money
many
for him.
people.
T.
Yeah.
Higgins is the number one wide receiver on probably 25 other teams.
Yeah,
Yes,
1,000%.
Like
He's the highest paid wide receiver, too, in NFL history.
Yep.
Another thing I wanted to mention on this is just kind of a funny thing that these two did the troll, Chase and T, because they're obviously friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They made it out to average that they get $69 million between the both of them a year.
Yeah. It's
60,
insane.
if you add their contracts together, they get
Nice.
$69 million.
So, I mean, so
Nice.
so the Bengals, they have like screwed themselves for trying to re-sign Trey Hendrickson
That too.
as like in that part. They're trying to. I don't know where they're gonna get the money from to
Right.
sign him to like a deal that he wants. So,
Out
but
of
like
thin air.
at the same time, that's the con. The pro is for them is that now everyone in the league has to deal with this combo.
Yes.
Now we have to stop it.
Yes.
So, and like, me personally, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins is the best wide receiver duo in the league,
And
they're in the Steelers division.
When was the last time that they beat us like really meaningfully?
It's been a while, Derpy. I will mention on that Mason
You
thing.
make
That'll
a
be our
point.
next stop.
You make a point, but
And
we don't have a secondary to necessarily hold those guys.
Pardon me?
Well,
Pardon me.
Hold on.
We
Hold on.
put Corey Trice on him late in last season. Jamar Chase cooked him.
Hold
That
on
was
real
then.
quickly here, boys. Real quickly.
Okay.
Because
Oh, my.
last season, did the Cincinnati Bengals beat us in any meaningful games? The answer is no. The year before, Joe Burrow was hurt for the whole season.
Yeah.
The year before that, they did beat us in 2 meaningful games and then went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
no.
so-
And okay.
That's
And-
all. That's the only point I wanted to make on that.
And I'm so glad that you brought that up because now they're paying for it.
Because they have to pay everybody high-end numbers. Now, I think Joe Burrow is worth the money that he has paid. I think Jamar Chase is worth the money he's paid. I think T. Higgins is worth the money he's paid.
I
But
agree.
unless the salary cap is going to go up by $50 million a year, the Bengals in 4 years are going to be like dead broke for the next 4 years. They're paying. I had it on our TikTok page. I believe they are ending up paying $123 or $121 million for just those 3 players every season, which is 48% of their cap.
Yeah, because what is the cap now?
260, 280, somewhere in
Yeah,
there.
so
Yeah.
yeah. That's,
They better pray their draft picks hit.
Yeah.
they-
They are seriously banking on the draft. I mean, don't get me wrong, they draft pretty dang good.
Obviously.
Cincinnati Bengals aren't bad at drafting. They have
obviously.
some pretty great pieces
They're-
now. They
they're-
were in good spots when they got them from sucking.
It's just they're in a cursed state next to the most cursed franchise.
yeah, for sure.
And it just rubs off on them.
the orange of the Browns just bleeds onto the
it does.
Bengals.
It
dude.
does.
I
And
agree.
speaking of the Browns,
From the opposite
can we
side of the
talk
state.
about them?
Oh, we can. But real quick, I wanted to get Derpy here saying
Yes.
he wanted us to give our opinions about what we think about Mason Rudolph coming to the Pittsburgh Steelers, back to the Pittsburgh Steelers, that is.
Okay.
And I personally have a opinion on this, and I think it's a positive one. I think that, and disagree with me if you want, let me know if you think I'm crazy, but I think that bringing back Mason Rudolph was the smartest decision of all the quarterbacks that we could have brought back for 2
Agree.
separate reasons. A, doesn't maybe not necessarily know the system, but knows the culture. He's home. You know what I
Agree.
mean? When he comes back.
Agree.
Second, now Aaron Rodgers does not dictate what goes on for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because we can simply say, I mean, Mason Rudolph won us some games and the fans like him. So we can throw him out there with the rookie that we draft, and we don't need you anymore. If you want to come here, you can, but this is how much we'll pay you.
I kid you not. Those were my exact thoughts. And it's again, I'm not I'm not super high on Mason. I never have been.
Right. He's not amazing, but
Yeah,
like
I
he's
never
not
have
nobody.
been. Yeah, he's not nobody to the Steelers.
Exactly. We can
so-
make him work.
Right. So
Mhm.
I agree with everything you just said. Literally everything you just said.
And he's so cheap too.
No,
$4 million a year, bro.
And
Yeah.
so again, that's why I was saying something like, try to get Milton to back him up. But we do need somebody else.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right.
We need
Whether it's
somebody
Jackson
else.
Dart, Milton,
Yeah.
Milrow,
Yeah,
it's got
yeah,
it.
yeah.
There has to be.
We need somebody else, and that is why I'm really glad we got him for so cheap.
Right. We were
because-
talking bridge quarterback. If all the ones who were available this year were all bridge quarterbacks. Don't get me Sam
All
Darnold,
of
your
them.
franchise quarterback. He's
Absolutely
not.
not.
And neither
No.
is Daniel Jones, who's gone to Indianapolis.
Not in.
Mason Rudolph, the best possible pick for the Steelers.
Indiana
Go ahead,
Jones
blow up
is
about
crazy.
Indiana Jones. I think he's going to take that job because I know we have a plethora of Colts
It's the
fans.
same guy.
You know it's really funny.
He's the same. Him and Anthony Richardson are the same player.
You think?
Literally.
I think they're the same player in the sense that they can both run the football and you don't trust either of them to throw it.
Yes.
That's
They're the same. They're the exact same.
What do you think? Do you like Anthony? Because I mean, like Anthony's like he's like a poor like Dollar General version of Cam Newton.
That's a great way of putting
That
it.
is so
Be
good.
honest.
That is so good.
That's a great
yeah,
way of putting
yeah,
that.
That's true.
That's what I see. He runs power and he looks great when he's running the ball. When they're inside the 5 and he fakes the RPO to Jonathan Taylor and keeps it himself and runs over a linebacker.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
looks
Cam
great.
Newton. Then put him at the 30-yard line and let him throw the football, and you're like, bro.
Yeah.
Who is
Daniel
that?
Jones? And
No, I
Daniel
agree.
Jones is the exact same way.
Yeah, he's the exact
Yeah.
same way. I
Like-
think Daniel Jones steals the job, though, because of his veteran knowledge. I think that
and
he wins them over with his brain, but not with his skills. Right?
I really like Anthony Richardson. I wish that you guys had like a better
Anthony
outlet.
Richardson. I do have a better outlook for him if he was more serious about his career.
That's it. That's the part.
That's it. dude.
That's the part. And
That's what I can't get behind a guy.
No, exactly.
You've been given an opportunity that I swear to God, if I was given, I would give every ounce of my life to.
Oh my God, yeah.
So what
There's-
are you doing
there's
rapping
way-
in gas stations,
yeah,
bro?
And there's no way I'm talking about, man, I'm tired.
Yeah,
third down, taking
Yeah, that's
plays
another,
up.
like, yeah. when-
as their quarterback,
yeah.
franchise quarterback,
Yeah,
you're
no.
insane.
I don't know a kid on the playground that if we're playing pickup is going to say, hey, bro, why don't you come in because I'm tired. Now, us at the basketball courts in our 30s, that's a little
That's
bit of a
different.
different
That's
story
different.
because I'm
And-
about
and
to
it's-
throw up.
Yeah, and it's not even I'm tired. My knee has literally
Yeah.
expanded.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's swollen now. Like,
Like-
I can't run anymore.
Facts, dude. Straight facts.
Yeah.
Did you have any other topics that you guys wanted to dive
yes,
into?
I want to talk about
Yeah.
Kenny Pickett.
Oh yeah, you did want to talk about Kenny and the Browns. Let me tell you, can I give you my reaction first, and then we'll let Ben go in with it here. I think that if it ends up being, this is what I hope, and I've been in a couple Eagles podcasts where they're like, "How do you have this much hate in your heart for this man?" And I'm like, "Bro, you don't understand, dude. I had to stand behind this guy with these little hands, who then came in and played, and I was okay with all that." And then the defining line for me is, again, how serious you are. He started complaining against the Seahawks that he wasn't
Yeah.
going to play, wasn't going
Yep.
to suit up because of Mason Rudolph, and then was complaining when we said, we're still going to give you the starting job. We're going to let Mason Rudolph walk, and we're going to bring in Russell, and you just have to compete against him. He's old. You're 24 years old. You
I
should
agree.
be able to beat a 36-year-old guy
I agree.
at a position. And he said, I don't want to do it. And so we shipped him off to the Eagles, and he looked horrible when he played. Now, he did get a Super Bowl ring, which is what the Eagles fans will say. But he got a ring, though, and I'm like, you're right. But now I'm so happy because he might have to play for the Cleveland Browns as a starting quarterback, get sacked all the time by the Pittsburgh Steelers, or sit on the bench behind Russell Wilson on the Browns instead, you loser. That's my thought on it, bro.
Like I commented, he literally sold his soul for that Super Bowl ring,
Yeah,
and
dude.
he went
Oh, my goodness.
straight to hell.
Yeah,
He
dude.
went straight to hell.
He's
did
done.
not pass go. What is his contract even?
It's
It's not even good.
he's still on his rookie contract. And you know what? The Cleveland Browns can dictate whether they give him a fifth-year option now.
Yep.
And guess what? The Pittsburgh Steelers might get a better compensation pick for that.
That's
Man,
oh my
it's
gosh.
just- It sucks to suck, bro.
It
That's all I gotta,
sucks
that's all I gotta say.
to
It sucks.
suck.
It sucks.
That
to
man
suck,
is
bro.
going to be walking around.
Like it's just.
He's going to be walking around Oakland in a trench coat in 20 years with that Eagles ring on his finger, talking about.
me?
I'm little Kenny. And it's going to be falling off his little ass hands because he can't fucking.
Don't you be even more shriveled up? He'll just be a T-Rex at that point in time.
Oh,
I'm
man.
sorry. I
Like,
shouldn't be
it's
talking
just-
about him like that
He
because
went-
I liked Kenny. I really did.
I tried-
But until he started, like you said,
Listen,
complaining and all that.
You on my team? And
Yeah.
Until you do something dumb, I'm
I'm
100%
I'm
on your
backing
back.
you.
I
Yeah.
got
I'm
you.
backing you.
And the second you do something dumb, kick rocks, my guy.
Get out of here.
Don't go against the city
So-
of Pittsburgh, and don't talk about the team.
And it's
Can't
just
do
Kick
it.
rocks.
it's fitting that he's in Cleveland now because
It's
that's
so
where
fitting.
that's where quarterback careers go to die.
yeah.
He went to hell.
He went to
so-
quarterback hell.
He went. He literally went to the crossroads.
Yeah.
He
So-
dug it up.
I think
put his box in
Baker
there.
Mayfield lucked out by getting the heck out of Cleveland.
Oh,
Bro,
dude.
look at what
That was
he
the best
turned
thing.
Look
Dude.
at what
In
he
hindsight?
turned into. And remember, I've always loved Baker.
Yeah.
I know you guys.
Yeah,
love
I'm
you
a
know
big
we
I'm
like-
a big
you know
Baker
we
I
fan.
love him.
love Baker. I look at what he turned into. They was like, oh,
Yeah.
he's going to be a pumpkin. He's going to be there. He's coming behind Tom Brady. He's not, bro.
No.
Come on.
He
now.
stepped in, and you forgot that Tom Brady was even the
even
quarterback
there, bro.
Yeah,
That's good. Yeah, I
He
love
just
Baker.
he just
I
needed,
love
he
Baker
just
too.
needed a
I
team.
love Baker, dog.
Baker just needed a team that believed in him. He found one with the Bucks. He's going to be there for another
And
5 years or
that's
so.
why I was so pissed when the Steelers let Justin Fields walk because I believe that's all Fields needed too.
He-
was a team that really
See-
believed in him.
But it is the Jets. The Jets are a terrible organization.
Mm-hmm. He does line
They
up
could,
with
they
Garrett Wilson.
could, they, yeah, but they could ruin Justin Fields just as easily as the Browns could.
But I don't want him.
I don't want him ruined either. That's why I wanted him to stay here because I didn't think we
Same.
weren't going to ruin him. The Jets could ruin him.
No, the Jets
Like-
are going to ruin
Here's the
him.
thing. Here's the thing, guys. And here's the big thing that is a difference between these two quarterbacks that we were just talking about. Love them both. I agree with you. I think Justin Fields, again, I do think he has potential, but there is a mental wall that is blocking him. And then the Steelers also kind of
I
put a
agree.
little bit of shackles on him. But, I mean,
I agree.
when the shackles are let loose and you don't do something, well, then just put them back on because if you're not going to be any different.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I think that on this side with Justin Fields, there is a lack of confidence. They have the same like level of athletic ability. Baker's is with his arm more than it is his legs, but he does have legs.
He does.
And I think that Justin's legs make up for what he lacks
Yeah.
in the canon of an
100%,
arm.
100%.
Right. But this guy has no confidence, and this guy has the confidence of a guy who just climbed Mount Everest bare naked.
Yeah.
Like,
You know what
oh
I'm
my
saying?
God. Yeah, seriously.
The dude got off a plane and played in a
So-
Monday night football game
Yeah.
without knowing any of the plays, the players'
Bro.
names, or
And
anything,
balled out.
and won.
Bro,
Like, yeah.
it's insane. I love Baker so much. I will run through a wall for him.
Give me a YouTube wrap where we're at 50 minutes on the camera. We'll still stay live.
Nice.
I want to turn my camera off.
Okay, guys, if you were watching today on YouTube or listening on Spotify, make sure that you slap that follow button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help us grow the channel. We'll be going live covering the entire draft. We have March Madness coming up. We have special guests today, so I didn't get to dive into March Madness that much, but we're going to go nuts for March Madness. So make sure you stay tuned in for that. Slap the subscribe button. Until the next episode, peace out, guys.
And you're still, and we're gonna stay
We're still going to be live.
Oh, yeah. And if you're not
This is
watching
only for
on
the recording.
Yeah, if you're not watching on YouTube, great. Now we're going to be able to answer all of your questions in chat, and we're going to continue our conversation. But for recording purposes, we got to give Paul his time.
Since we're not recording, I can actually go to the bathroom.
Yeah, do your thing. What I wanted to talk to you about here, dude, is I have my top 5, what I think were the best moves of this offseason. And let me know if you think
Okay.
that I missed one or if it's something that you think that, nah, I don't think that was really a good move.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
So, for my top 5 offseason moves, to start, my number 1 at 5, well, I guess my number 5 is going to be Najee Harris going to the Chargers. I love that move for them because he's going to play in that. Did you see how the Chargers play offense?
Yeah, no,
His power run, dude.
Yeah, no, 1,000%. I agree. I
Mhm.
think it's going to be really great for him. Again, like you said earlier, just a bit ago, I don't like the little jab that he took at us. So
Yeah.
when you, but I get it though. So I'm not super mad, but at
Right.
the same time, 3.8, bro.
Yeah, 3.8 yards a carry. And then here's another thing for you, my guy. If you look at the clock and you're only running 12 miles per hour at top speed and you've never had a run longer than 37 yards,
That stat
Ain't that crazy?
shocked
Ain't
me.
that crazy? Ain't
That stat
crazy?
shocked me.
Yeah.
Running back, yeah. First round pick, yeah. That's crazy.
I think that for the Chargers, over the last 2 years since they've brought in Harbaugh as the coach, they've been recycling all the AFC North running backs. They went and grabbed both of the Ravens last year.
Yep.
And now this year they're going with the Pittsburgh Steelers running back. Now both those Ravens guys are free agents. They cut Gus Edwards, Gus Bus.
Yeah.
J.K. Dobbins still a floating piece. Wouldn't mind him on the Steelers. J.K. Dobbins.
I kind of wouldn't either.
Dude, him and Jalen
I
Warren.
was just
that
about to
sounds
say
kinda
him and Jay. Yeah, that
fire,
kind of sounds a
dude,
little
right?
bit nice.
Right?
That does. I agree.
But yeah, they recycled them. I think Najee Harris is going to plug and play in that offense pretty well for them, though. I think that they'll utilize him as a first and second down back, just like the Steelers did, and then they will bring in somebody, whether that's Kamani Vidal, who's the running back actively on the roster. He's a rookie this year, or if they go and grab a pass catcher for third down, specifically a third down back, because Najee Harris is not a wide receiver back. He's never been good at screens. He always gets caught in the backfield.
Always, and he looks really weird catching out of the backfield.
Yeah.
he's the weirdest.
He don't get past the line of scrimmage fast enough. Is the problem? He always when he does good at those plays. You'll know this. It's the plays where he's doing the big arm push, the big stiff arms. It's never he's able to be elusively out of the backfield. He always has to take contact out of it. Yep. But I think for number 5 on my list, Najee Harris to the Chargers, pretty good
I like it.
Number 4, let me know if you know who these guys are. One of them trains with this big guy right here, Troy Polamalu. Okay. Do you know who Hufanga is?
I was about to say, yeah, of course. He was the safety for the
Niners.
49ers.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
but he was hurt a little bit, right?
He was hurt, yeah.
He's kind of injury prone in his knees.
Yeah. And
that's bad.
That scares me, especially for a safety.
But guess where he went? Alongside Dre Greenlaw, if you know who that is, guy who blew his
linebacker
for the 49ers as well.
Yeah.
They both went to the number 5 defense in the NFL, who really didn't lose anybody. They both went to the Broncos. So that's a huge upgrade.
I do like that.
You have Pat Surtain
I was about to
already
say,
there.
Yeah.
They have multiple guys who were getting sacks throughout the season. They have a great pass rush.
Benito
Benito and
rookie.
Allen.
Benito was the rookie that got in the third round. He had a hell of a year.
Yeah. Benito had a really great season. So they were my number 4 on the list. It was
I
Hufunga
like
and
if
Greenlaw.
If he stays healthy, I really think that's
Elite defense. That's what they're building there.
And then Bo, man, yeah.
Bo's nice too.
Get
Bo's
Bo
nice.
some receivers, a couple pass catchers.
And that makes sure that defense is a safety valve for him. I like that.
Fucking right there. Producer Paul looking a little different.
Damn it, Red.
Red, you too funny.
Oh my goodness.
Because I told him that you were slandering his boys. So you
Oh, I was Red. If you're late, Red's one of our Colts fans. He's also he's also our resident troll. So, however, just had to shout this out. And we said we were going to get him for this. We have a Madden league, all right, that we've started.
Okay.
With our viewers.
Yeah.
And old boy Red, in his first initial game that we streamed live and watched, he lost 69-19. What's up, Red? Yeah, that's right. Anyways,
big ouch.
We were talking about we think that Indiana Jones is going to take over as the head quarterback for the Colts to start the season because Anthony Richardson won't be able to beat him out of that job. That was the hot take that Paul was talking about.
Yeah, Richardson needs better. He needs better mentals. He really needs to get after his chickens, as Marshawn Lynch would say.
Right. He is training with Josh Allen all summer in Jacksonville. Maybe there's something to come out of it. Red, other thing that I did say was that he reminds me of the Dollar General version of Cam Newton. Moving on to my number 3. My number 3 for best offseason moves so far. I'm going to give it to the Raiders in trading for Geno. I think that, given their situation, they were not going to be able to get a quarterback in the draft.
I was about to say, do they still have Minshew on the?
They let Minshew go. Minshew is the
so.
backup for Patrick Mahomes now at the Chiefs.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. What a weird one.
The man, the myth, the average quarterback who's just good enough to be a backup in the NFL.
Yep.
Minshew's numbers ain't terrible.
They're not terrible.
His defense.
No.
So
in his defense. They're not great though either, and he doesn't win a lot of games.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's never been on a good team.
At the
He's
beginning,
never
of,
been on a good team.
At the beginning of last season, his numbers were comparable to Trevor Lawrence.
Who's the guy?
The Chargers are.
Who's the guy that beat Brady? The one he was the backup quarterback. It's similar to Minshew. He was better than him. Why can't I think of his fucking name? I think he was
What
down
team?
with the Jaguars for a minute. He was all-
Bortles, Blake Bortles.
No.
This guy was all over the league. Like,
That's
doing all
Minshew.
kinds of teams, not Minshew. He was better than him. He just retired.
Oh,
Oh,
you're talking about Fitzpatrick.
Fitzpatrick, yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like Minshew's a discount Fitzpatrick.
Yeah,
He's a journey.
Yeah.
He's a career.
Yeah,
He's a career
yeah,
backup,
he definitely
serviceable
Journey-
backup
yeah,
whenever
journeyman.
need be. But like,
Yeah.
he's not a starter.
He's
in
on the
NFL.
clearance rack at
I know,
Walmart for
that's
sure.
I kind of would have liked to see him on the Steelers.
Minshew?
Okay, yeah,
I would have liked Minshew. Minshew
Yeah.
would have been a good add too.
yeah.
I think so.
Just to get somebody else in that quarterback. I
Right.
mean, it's Mason's team. Okay, fine, whatever.
yeah.
I don't want it to be Mason's team, but
Well, here's
yeah.
the thing. For the Raiders, it was going to be Aiden O'Connell's team. So I think it was a smart move for
Yeah,
them to go
1000%.
and get Geno
Yeah,
Smith.
I agree.
So that was-
that's really good.
but
for
Aiden
him.
O'Connell's low key kind of lit.
No, Jordan Kirk. No, we're not having any of that. That was number 3 on my list, guys. Number 2 on my list. Me and Ben already talked about this a little bit, but this one is, I think, like understated moves of the offseason. The Bears rebuilding their entire offensive line, dog.
Yeah, that's
Joe
huge for them.
Tooney and
Yeah.
Jonah Jackson,
Yeah.
dog. That is such a power move.
Yeah,
I
that's
think-
good for them.
I think that's going to help out Caleb Williams a ton. I think Caleb Williams is going to progress now that he has time. I think the offensive line that has a lot of young rookies that they've drafted over the last couple of years is going to have great response to Joe Tooney being there as their leader. Joe Tooney obviously started his career with Tom Brady
Yep.
at the New England Patriots and
Yep.
then finished up with the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. So he's had greatness his entire career.
Yeah,
I think
agree.
he'll
I
bring
agree.
greatness with him.
Yeah, I agree.
My number 1
I love it. I do love that.
is the guys who've traded the most this offseason outside of the Texans. I was going to throw the Texans on here, but they've made too many flunky moves that I don't like. So my number 1 offseason
Getting rid of
move,
half of their own line.
yeah,
Yeah, that's so weird.
But go
Washington
ahead.
Commanders. I'm giving the Washington Commanders the number 1 move of the offseason. They have traded I believe for this year, it is their 3rd and 6th and a 5th round pick for the following players, Tunzel and Debo. Now they have to give up a 2nd and 4th next year for Tunzel too. But they get Laramie Tunzel to lock up the left tackle. He's a Pro Bowler, but he is getting a little up there in age and has been called for a lot of holding penalties in the last 2 seasons. However, he is still a Pro Bowler, and he's still very, very
And
good
I
at
was
left
about
tackle.
to say, yeah, linemen.
regardless.
Yeah, linemen kind of last a little bit longer, especially when they're really good.
Absolutely.
Again, like you were saying, you know, the holding penalties and stuff, don't really love that decline, it looked like. But I think that was more so he was suffering from like some knee injuries, which
100%. Laramie Tunzel's a little injury prone.
yeah,
he is.
that's
He
another
is.
thing I don't like. But again,
So is Debo.
he has still been really solid at that position. So
For
it's
years.
it's a really great addition
Yeah.
for them, especially to help secure that backside of that line for that great young
100%.
I like the Tunsil edition more than I like the Debo edition.
I do too. I think I like the
guy.
Debo one.
Why are y'all? You guys?
I'm
don't-
down on Debo, man.
Hear me out. I
Okay.
think the Debo portion of it was the better deal. I think they paid too much for Tunsil. I don't
Yeah,
think.
I
I
agree
think
with
that
that.
I think that they got Debo for the
Yeah,
low.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, for sure.
For
Yeah.
what they got Debo for is I
That-
agree with.
Yeah.
That's perfectly fine.
Right.
He's not the player that he was in 2021.
But does he need to be though?
And neither is Cooper Kupp. But
But that's the thing. Though,
I know,
like,
he
doesn't,
might-
He doesn't need to be. He needs to be somebody. I mean, they got Scary Terry, right?
Right.
yeah.
So Debo on the other side of that is like, okay, I'm Daniels, right? I have Scary Terry. I've known
Streaking.
him. I've known him. We are best friends like this. Now I have Debo Samuel. I can just floop. You know it. Number 1 for sure. It's like if anybody was not afraid of the Commanders
They should be
before,
now.
They should probably. Be
I
really
think
afraid of
this.
them now.
I think this. This is what the offense is going to look like in 2025. The Commanders here. They've got at quarterback, obviously, Daniels. They've replaced some offensive linemen. We've talked about that a little bit in Laramie Tunzel. That's a great anchor. The only problem, just while we're on this, the only problem I can see with Laramie Tunzel in his holding penalty problem is that Jaden Daniels is a running quarterback.
That's it.
So that could be a problem.
That's it.
Now, looking at what they have to build around Jaden Daniels and what they have built around him, they've got Zach Ertz coming back at tight end. Great anchor player.
Love it.
Now, I think
that so
Debo
much.
is going to be Mr. Slot. I think he'll go into the slot. Because
Yeah.
there's going to be a lot of plays where he does that nice little end around,
Yeah.
or does some
1000%.
motion.
1000%.
Now, they let a guy go, and they re-signed another guy. So, two guys named Brown. De'Ami Brown, Noah Brown. De'Ami Brown, he's on the Jaguars now.
Okay.
Noah Brown, the one who
Yeah.
caught the immaculate
Yeah,
catch.
I remember.
Right?
Yeah.
He is back. So, you got Noah Brown playing on the outside. You've got Scary
yeah.
Terry on the outside. You got Debo in the middle. Ertz, you've got Eckler, and you've got Brian Robinson. That's a pretty good makeup
It's
for
scary.
me.
It's scary.
I like their offense.
The only thing I'd be worried about is Eckler's health. He was not great. Ever it's staying healthy.
Yeah.
So, and that concussion from last season, does that slow him down at all? I would have liked to see Washington go after the guy that the Philadelphia Eagles got who was injured last season, A.J. Dillon.
Yeah.
You remember
yeah.
AJ?
Yeah.
He ain't played in a while, but he's a wrecking ball running back. I think he's going to play great behind Saquon Barkley. In chat here, they're saying that JD is going to have a Stroud year next season. What's your thoughts on that?
Ooh, a sophomore slump.
Do you think he has a sophomore slump?
No.
No, I think he's better than CJ Stroud.
You think he's better than CJ Stroud? I think he's better than CJ Stroud as well.
I do too.
CJ Stroud's an Ohio State
I like
quarterback.
CJ Stroud.
I love
think,
CJ Stroud. I think he's
CJ
really
Stroud's
good.
He had a down year,
Yeah.
but I mean,
It's gonna get worse for him.
I think
too,
Jaden
because
Daniels
they
is a better
just blew
quarterback.
up everything.
One of our Vikings fans says Washington is not that scary at all.
That's fine. Who's their quarterback?
Yeah, is JJ McCarthy the quarterback flock? Is it going to be Aaron Rodgers? What do you think about that, dude?
Yeah.
He says that he thinks they're going to have their downfalls. Red says the Commanders are collecting wash players like the Infinity Stone.
That's
That's
a
too
good-
funny,
okay.
Red. That's too
Okay.
funny. I told you he's our residential
okay,
troll.
okay.
He ain't wrong. He ain't wrong. Did you guys want to do a first rounder to
Yeah.
end off the night? Do you
Yeah.
want to dive into that?
I'm cool with that.
Paulie, can you please bring up the whatever screen, whatever we call that screen? Can you bring that screen up? That'd be sick if you could. Guys, we're going to do a first-round draft here with our boy Nate. We're going to go over every single team, just the first round, and we're going to kind of talk about who we think maybe each team is going to take. First, so we got our first round, guys. Just want to make sure everybody can see.
I can see it. We're good.
So first round, we're going to be talking Titans. I think that there is no doubt in my mind that they're going to end up taking Cam Ward. What do you think?
I agree because
Yeah,
I don't think they have that big of a use for Travis Hunter.
Not without a quarterback.
Yeah, right. So I agree.
I would think so.
Yeah.
So we're going to take for our first pick. I thought he'd be up higher. He wasn't. Cam Ward.
No, yeah.
Is
Yeah,
On people's
he's
big
been-
boards, like for like the overall prospect, he's
21.
he's not very high up there.
Right, and
It's basically Kenny
So-
Pickett style.
It's not a great quarterback.
Yeah,
though.
like
Yeah,
Kenny
it's
went
not
20th,
good.
right? I mean, like this is kind of the same year. You have, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to knock these two boys, but like Cam Ward.
and even Kenny, like, he's not terrible.
Yeah,
he's
just not great.
serviceable.
Yeah, he's just not
Yeah,
great.
He's not great.
Yeah.
It's the mental thing with him.
Red says, "Don't miss the Colts pickup. We're gonna make sure to." So with the second pick, now I think that none of us believe that Shedeur Sanders is going to be drafted by the Cleveland Browns. I don't think that Deion Sanders would allow him to be drafted by the Cleveland Browns. Do you?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
I don't. Yeah,
not.
no, the Browns
Right?
they're not going to draft.
No, and they're
No.
too
Shedeur
smart.
Sanders.
They're too smart to draft Travis Hunter. So I believe they're going to go with Abdul Carter because he actually does fit best with the team. You put Abdul Carter, Miles Sanders.
No, I get
Garrett.
But it's funny you said
Garrett, what did I
that.
say?
Sanders, yeah.
You said you said that they're too smart facetiously, right?
Yeah,
But-
they're too
no,
smart.
because I think they should get Travis Hunter. Honestly,
Yeah, well, I feel like they should get Travis Hunter, but there is no way in hell they will. And
No,
also,
I agree, but-
I don't think Travis Hunter will want to play for Kenny Pickett.
No.
Right? I mean,
Is he playing wide receiver in?
I think that he's
I
going to be
mean,
primarily a
he-
cornerback. He's lined up in the draft class as a cornerback. He's not listed as a wide receiver.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
But he
So,
said himself that he wants to play both
I
ways.
know
So,
he
like,
wants to play both ways, but
it's if the team lets him or not.
yeah, right. That's the thing.
You
If
know?
the team lets him,
I see him kind of like Dion in the red helmet, where he would play, or maybe even Tavon Austin, where how involved he was actually in the offense. Tavon
Yeah,
Austin,
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
sometimes in the slot on a deep streak, will always do the kick return, and then in Travis's case, he'll play cornerback all the time.
all the time.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
That's kind of what I see.
Because
for him.
I think if for as great of a wide receiver as he is, he's a better corner.
Yeah. He's if you look at the stats through college, he was better at being a cornerback than he was being a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Because when he was playing against good cornerbacks, they kind of locked him down.
They kind of locked him up.
Yeah. So for the second pick, Abdul Carter, do we agree for the Browns?
Yes.
I think Abdul Carter is the best pick for the Browns, realistically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
honestly.
realistically.
Now with the third pick,
Every other mock I've seen has the Cleveland Browns taking Abdul.
taking
Carter.
Abdul?
Yeah.
Yeah.
so for the third pick, now we kind of talked about this during the show.
Yeah.
Do you believe Shadur will be allowed to go to the Giants? And do you think that the fake hype behind him, the fake like downfall of him, is going to affect this? Do you think that the Giants take this pick?
I think
Because Mara can't lose out on another picker. He's fired. So is the head coach. They're both getting fired.
I think Dion would let him go to the Giants. The Giants is a huge market.
Right, and they got Dable,
Yeah.
who's an
New
offensive
York.
head coach.
Yeah. New York is a huge market, so I do
So-
think they would. Yeah.
I think so. I don't think that the other available picks are worth it for them to take.
Yeah,
No.
I don't believe that Shadur falls out of the top 5.
I don't
think so
either.
either.
I don't either.
So then-
for as much talk, which is really funny because all of the hearsay came from one guy it started with. Mm-hmm. So that's why
Yeah.
I'm like,
From the combine.
That's how it
Yeah.
works,
Like-
dude. That's how it
I'm
works.
like,
One
come on,
guy
that-
gets
yeah,
that
there's-
Weasley little note
yeah,
in
there's
there,
no
dog.
way.
I'm
like,
telling you.
yeah. Shador is loved, and he, like he said himself, he can change the culture.
It
and I
ain't-
think
it
he's
ain't-
going to be good.
It ain't nothing that when you ever hear those things, it ain't nothing to ever pay mind to.
No,
Because they said the same thing about Nick Chubb. Oh, he blew his knee in college, and he came out in the NFL, and he was great until he blew his knee.
yeah,
But
which
still.
is insane.
But still,
man.
you can't predict that.
No, you can't.
Next, I think that I already know who they're going to take. It's between these two guys for me, but I don't think that they can pass up on this opportunity to have the most athletic player in the draft. Right?
I don't think so either, and I don't foresee Travis sliding that much.
I can't see him sliding the whole way to 5 to the Jaguars.
No.
Yeah, no. New England's going to take Travis Hunter.
I think 100% New England takes Travis Hunter. Now with the fourth,
And I hate New England, but he's going to look really good up there. Mm-hmm. He's going to look.
he
Really
is. He's
good
going to
up
look.
there.
So it's Christian Gonzalez on one side, and then you
Yeah.
put Travis Hunter on the other. That's going to be a great combination.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
think.
granted, New England, they need a wide receiver up there,
Mm-hmm.
big time. But
You kinda get one.
Do you want to go with McMillan at 4, or do you want to get the best overall athlete in the
And
draft?
again,
Someone
I
who
think-
can really
I think
help
he
your team
really
out.
I think he really can, even if it's just for a year, play wide receiver and
Yeah.
corner. So yeah,
So
I like that.
he can. I mean,
I like that pick.
yeah, I think they go with Travis Hunter.
Yeah, Red, I don't think that Sanders has fallen to the third. He's also talking about how Latu, Grover Stewart, and Buckner are just going to destroy Cam Ward's whole career. Man, hopeful thinking out of Colts fans. I tell you what,
Bro,
you didn't.
I
I bet
don't
you didn't
know.
even know the Colts fans were this wily,
well,
right?
I was about to say,
This
I don't
was-
know
this
where
is-
they got
this
this
is
bravado
always like
from.
this.
That's crazy.
Red's the same guy who was
Is it
complaining
like
about the Colts
2005
defense the
again?
entire season and how bad they were. So
Yeah, like
pick one, Red. They were either so good or so bad.
Okay, guys, 5th round pick. This one starts to get less obvious, right? Because we're out of the
Yeah.
best players that are out there, and in teams that absolutely have to take quarterback. Now for the Jaguars, I think that they could go Tet McMillan, but I really think that Mason Graham. There, I can talk.
D
Is
tackle.
the best.
I was about to
available.
say best available.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
They
If-
traded away Roy Harris in the middle of the season to the Seahawks, some team, but they got rid of him in the intent that everyone knew that they were going to target defensive line in this draft.
Yeah.
So I believe that's the route they go. I think they're pretty happy with what offense they have after they let Christian Kirk get traded away and they released Ingram.
Yes.
So, I mean, I think that they will rebuild those positions in the draft, but people like they have Strange, they have Parker Washington, the wide receiver from Penn State still. So they have players on the roster that they can still give more time to.
Who's their running back?
Their running back is a dual threat
yeah,
of
they use-
Tank Bigsby and
and
Travis
Etienne.
Etienne.
Oh, right. Didn't Etienne get hurt like at the end of last
He
year?
got hurt in the middle of the year and absolutely had the worst year
Yeah,
of his career.
he didn't have a good
Okay.
year at
Yeah,
all.
he had a horrible one. So we're going to take Mason Graham for the Jaguars. I think that's the best pick. Chat is going to yell at us if we don't take this. Jay says easily Graham, so he's on the same page with us, Jay.
yeah.
Welcome into the live, brother. I think that it's no doubt in my mind. Now, our viewer, Adam, he's been kind of our like Adam Schefter, who's been shooting all the messages in our Discord, so you'll
Okay.
never miss when somebody is being added or signed like that. We're up to
Okay,
date.
okay.
And if we miss it,
Constantly.
He's got 'em
it.
all.
Constantly in our Discord, just so and so gets signed, so and so got traded.
we
so-and-so
love it,
got
Adam.
so-and-so
We
got-
appreciate
I
it,
love
dude.
No, straight up.
Um,
Keep doing it.
But for the Raiders, I think we talked about this during the show. It's already set in stone. As much as it could possibly be Tet, because they could use a fire wide receiver to go along there, it's Ashton Genty because the
Ashton
room is completely open for him to go there.
1,000.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They don't have a running back at all.
they've made no moves to
Like-
get a running back. They've not sniffed anything. I think that is
All signs point to Genty.
I think
Yep.
all signs point to Genty as well. And I think that he could be pretty good on the Raiders. I mean,
I
Josh
think
Jacobs was really good on the Raiders,
great on
right?
the Raiders.
So
Right.
You bring
I
in.
think Genty's
so-
going to be great over there. I wish he would have fell,
So
but
it's something that Genty wasn't really used in the passing game. This last season at Boise State,
Right.
he can catch the ball out of the
yeah, he
backfield.
can.
Okay.
He is
So
really-
that's a tool that he has in his
Yeah.
pocket.
Jay says, where do the Jets go is the big question. I think I kind of already have the answer.
okay.
So hear me out on this. They had Tyrone Smith. Does that name ring a bell at all for you? And if it doesn't, that's okay. He was a left tackle with the Cowboys for years. He was very good. Very good on the Cowboys. Went up on the Aaron Rodgers mantra.
I actually do. Yeah.
Now you kind of remember him?
Yeah.
So they let him walk. I think without a doubt they take Will Campbell to take over at left tackle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's easy.
Yeah,
it's an
1,000%.
easy pick.
Especially now that they got
Justin Fields, they
Yeah.
need somebody to block, give him a little more time, or once he starts scrambling, what's better than having a young left tackle,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So I think Will Campbell is going to be the pick for the Jets there. Now moving into, I don't know if I've told you this, Nate.
no.
I don't know if I've told you this yet,
No.
but I always pick an underdog team until they get really good. So now that was the Detroit Lions,
Oh yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
That's only NFC. I don't do AFC,
Okay.
right? I'm a Steelers fan.
Yeah.
But I always pick an NFC team that absolutely blows, and I watch them get good, and I stay a fan of them until they get too good, and I'm like, I can't. They're better than the Steelers. I can't watch this anymore.
You've done too much.
Yeah.
There's a lot of teams better than the Steelers.
Right. At this point, you're not wrong. So my new team is the Carolina Panthers.
I like
I'm
that team.
going to follow the Carolina Panthers in-depthly until they make it to either the Super Bowl or the NFC Championship game. That could be 20 years from now. But who cares? I'm a Panthers fan.
I like
now.
the pick. I like the pick.
It's not a
I
bad
like
team
the
to be a
pick.
fan of, right?
It's not. It's not. Color,
And I think
nobody can hate on
color
them.
scheme goes
Fire.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's a
that's-
fire color scheme.
Color scheme goes
Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah.
crazy. Did
So-
you see? Did you see the charcoal gray joint?
Oh, I like those. I like those. And the black helmet, dog. The black helmet's
Color- yeah,
fire.
Yeah, the all black helmet is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the black
So
helmet goes hard.
I love
Right.
it. Yeah,
So,
great pick.
What do you?
Okay.
I think
Tet-
Tech drops again.
You think Tet drops again? Because Red says that he thinks Tet goes to the Panthers. Now, W Steelers fan. All right, user, what's up, dog? Yeah, we're all Steelers fan in here. Terry just joined in the live. Terry, what's up, dude?
What
we're
up,
doing
Terry?
a live
What
draft.
up?
So for the Panthers, let me kind of go over what they did a little bit this offseason.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of let me know if they should stick to the wide receiver position or look somewhere else. Now, do you know who? It's Joe Horn Jr., right?
Yes.
Do you know
Yes.
who Joe Horn Jr. is?
I
By
know who
chance?
Joe Horn was.
That it's his son. It's his son.
Is he-
He's a cornerback.
Is he a corner?
He is
Oh.
a very good cornerback. I wouldn't put him in top 3. I'd put him in top 5 though.
Okay.
They made him the highest paid cornerback in the entire NFL.
Nice.
And they still
Okay.
need defensive backfield help.
And
Yeah.
they
No.
still-
Yeah. No. They still do.
And they
because
still do.
They
So
have.
that's
no
why
one
I
else.
like the kid from Texas here.
Jahad Barron.
Yep.
Okay, so you would have lockdown on either side. Another available option. This is why I wanted to kind of bring that into play. So wide receiver wise, they brought back Adam Thielen. They have
Yeah, I did see
Jalen
that.
Coker, who he really likes.
I like
Yeah,
I like
yeah, I
Coker.
did,
He
yeah.
He could be a nice
He could
young
be a nice
star
play.
on the rise.
And they've got old Xavier Leggett who talks in his southern South Carolina accent. I tried really hard. I didn't really got a South Carolina accent like that. But he's got that southern draw. He's there. He was their first-round pick last year in pick 32.
Not great, but he's still got potential.
Yeah.
So they're saying in chat they think that it is definitely going to be an offensive player such as Tet or Tyler Warren. You guys are thinking maybe defense because they don't. The other problem that I want to bring up, they don't have safety play.
I think it might be defense, but I want them to kind of go offense because I
You want to build around Bryce, right?
That's build around my guy.
So
Yeah.
I
agree
really
with
do
you.
want to build around my guy.
I agree with you that I think that they should just cap off the defense and go with the same offense again. They added Rico Dowdle for running back too.
I seen that.
Yeah.
But I really think that they can't pass up on the guy. Now, Tet, last year, they thought he was going to come out, and he was amazing at Arizona. Had a quieter year this year. The guy is really good. I think they take Tet. What do you think? You going Tet or you going defense to Barron? Either one's going to be a good
I think they
pick.
would kind of be crazy not to go Tet because he's the best on the board right now. And again, I want to build around my guy, but I don't want to see them make a mistake.
Right.
Because
okay, if you don't want
building around your guy still means putting good
yeah.
defensive pieces on the field too for when you need those stops.
100%.
So
you said you don't want to see them make a mistake. If they take Tyler Warren, the tight end from Penn State,
Yeah,
they would not be making a mistake there.
and I would rather them take him than Tet, honestly.
Okay.
I would
so
rather
are
see.
we
I would
going
rather
Tyler
see,
Warren
Yeah.
at 8?
Yeah, we were
I
going
would
Tyler
like it.
Warren. I agree because some
For
people
me-
in chat
for
are
me,
saying
it would be,
the same thing.
For me, it's between him or Barron.
Okay.
So me personally,
LG,
going
you joined
Barron.
at the right time. Yes.
I'm going Barron, but we got a 2-3 agreement
I
here
do
with
like
Warren. So
because
Warren at 8.
It is tight ends are always great for your quarterback.
So we got Warren going at 8 to the Panthers, guys. I will say they did re-sign Tommy Trumbull, but it's never bad to have two really good tight ends. I mean, it literally never a bad thing. If you look at what
Tyler Warren's going to be a stud.
he's
He's going to be a monster.
And then if you even look at a smaller example of it, the Bengals brought back both Gesicki and Hudson because they like to have two good tight ends to catch the football. Now, I'm not saying Hudson's amazing, but he's good enough.
Yeah.
Taking a look at the Saints now, I think it's pretty set in stone who has to go at this position because they need D-line, they need running back, and they need a wide receiver.
The Saints
available?
take Tet.
Tet goes to the Saints. I agree.
And I like that pick, Saints fan. I do
100.
like that pick,
yeah. Let me know, LG in chat, if you like that pick. Terry says he thinks they take a CB. Reed says he thinks that they'll take Barron. Now we're on the Bears. The Bears.
I think the Bears take Barron.
You think the Bears take Barron because they could take Malachi Starks out of Georgia. They could use safety help. They have our boy from Monroeville. What's his last name? The kid from Monroeville.
Brissett.
Yeah, no, is it Brissett?
Brisker.
Brisker.
Brisker. Brisker.
They have Brisker back there. I mean, if you think back, Eddie Jackson on the Bears, really good safety. They've had good safeties through the years that they've been a good team. Any year that the Bears have been a good team, they've had good safety play, good backfield play, a la Tillman back in the day as well. So for me, it's either Jahad Barron or Malachi Starks. Malachi Starks only because they do need a safety at that position.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it? I think Malachi Starks is probably the better play. And then I could
you don't
immediately see the
think-
49ers taking Barron in the next pick.
You don't think maybe Jahad Campbell to them?
Campbell? Okay.
because
Linebacker? They have really good linebackers.
They do have really good linebackers already.
Ooh. Oh, it's your wallet.
Oh,
Thank God.
good.
Thank God. Oh, yeah, you're clipped up. T-Mobile. Send us money.
I'm working on it. I'll work on that for sure.
Guys, what do you guys think? In chat, help us out. What do the Bears take with this pick? Peanut Tillman mentioned fire. Absolutely, Maxwell. You know I had to hit it. Maxwell, you are a Bears fan, and Shy, I don't know if you're still in here. Bears fans, give us some help.
Yeah.
If you were to pick through
I
Barron or Starks or also Campbell, linebacker was mentioned.
I think they take Starks. I agree with you. Starks goes here, and then Barron goes to the Niners.
Terry says
I like
Starks
that
as
pick.
well. Terry says
I like
Starks as
those.
well. No, I think that's the case because, I mean, the 49ers are either going to take Malachi Starks or Barron in this situation
Yeah.
still.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Maxwell, who is a Bears fan, says that he thinks that they would take Campbell. Real quickly before I click the button, Maxwell, shoot me an answer as to why it should be Campbell over Malachi Starks. If I agree with your answer, we will switch it. You got like 20 seconds. We got another one for Starks with Flock. So it looks like Starks is probably going to be the pick, but I want to give him the chance. What is our opinion on Sean Dolick? I don't know who that is. I'll look him up. If that's a real player, or if you're trying just to get me to say some disgusting name that I don't really. They do that.
I know. I already know. I already know.
I'll
I already
fall for
know.
that
I already
every
know,
time,
When
dog.
you said it out loud, I had to slow it down and think about it. So
That's why I said it with an accent on purpose. I was like, I want to make sure I screw it up. Talent-wise, he's a better prospect. He says no. Starks. Jay says okay. So it sounds like we're going with Starks for
Starks
the
is
Bears.
listed higher.
Yep, we're going to go with Starks for the Bears. Maxwell, I agree with you. Jay says he agrees with him. I think they fill position. They don't really necessarily need a linebacker like Jihad. They have Edwards. They have Sweat on the line, who's technically a linebacker, lineman player. He's an edge.
Yeah, Montez Sweat.
Yeah, Montez Sweat. So I think that Starks fills the position completely, gives
I like
Brisker the ability to maybe play some DB a little bit, locks
Yeah.
up the back end of that team. They play against a lot of quarterbacks who like to throw the football.
Yep.
All Jared Goff and
Love.
Jordan Love. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I think that that's probably a decent pick. They did release Sanborn. I seen he's already been re-signed by a new team, too. It might be in the Cowboys. Okay, so we already agreed
yeah,
here.
we're in agreement.
That this guy's got to go
He's
at
got
this
it.
point
Yeah.
in time.
Niners take Barron.
They fill in their spot there. Now we get to the Cowboys, who really wanted Genty, but he is not available for them. They need an edge rusher. They let DeMarcus Lawrence go this
I seen
offseason.
that.
Cowboys-
He's a Seattle Seahawks.
Cowboys are going to take Hampton.
Omarion Hampton.
Yeah. Jerry Jones loves his running backs.
I don't think
yeah.
they take him that early. I would say if they were going to go
Yeah,
through,
especially because he's.
I like
not-
either Jihad or James Pierce Jr. is another hot player that is available. A big thing about the Cowboys that I do want to remind both of you of is they've had a lot of offensive linemen leave this offseason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zach Martin retired.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
Specifically left. So I could see them going with a lineman.
I
in this
was gonna say,
situation.
I was gonna say that too because as much as Jerry loves his running backs, he loves a line for them to run behind.
And you got to protect Dak if you're going to pay him
You got
$1
to.
billion.
You have
You know
to.
what I'm saying?
I
So let's
know.
take a look at how far they would have to reach to get a guard. Or, when we're looking at tackles in the NFL, some of them are guards.
yeah,
You know what I
no,
mean?
yeah, they're definitely
So
dual purpose.
it doesn't look like it would be a safe option to take a guaranteed tackle and play him at guard or move one of your tackles into guard. So I don't think that's a position that they'll go with in this one.
Not
Plus,
first round, no.
they need like a wide receiver too.
They really do.
And I
They
could really see them
do.
going after this
will.
fella right here, Luther Burden, who's a burner from Missouri.
Oh,
Absolute burner
yeah.
from Missouri. He's
I
the
like
second
that.
best talent.
I do
Yeah.
like that. I like that
And
for them.
all they have is CeeDee Lamb.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I was.
A wide receiver, really.
Yeah, so I think
I mean, Cooks is nice, but he's old now. So
exactly.
he's
Exactly.
old. He's our age almost. Like
Yeah, that's
he's 30.
Don't call us that old. But I think Luther Burden is the pick here, guys.
I like that.
I think that they go after offense in this situation. We had Genty. Going to the Raiders, LG. I see you asked that in chat. User 58 says it's got to be either Golden or Burden to the Cowboys. So, yeah, I think it sounds like everyone's on the same page with us there. Moving into the team with absolutely no money, the poorest team in the NFL, who has no idea what they're doing, ever. I just don't get the Miami Dolphins. They don't make any sense. Guys,
They'll make sense with this pick though, and they'll take.
Membo?
They'll take Membo.
I think so, too. Now, they do have Terrence Armstrong. He's getting a little bit older, but they did have to let like half of their offensive line walk in this offseason. They had to let basically half of their team walk in this offseason.
Yeah.
So I could see either Jihad, because he's the best available, or the tackle here, Armand Membo. And I think Armand Membo is probably the better of the
I
two
was going
picks
to say
for
it
them.
makes more sense for them.
Now, Colts fans, you're up. And let's talk about what we think the Colts fans could possibly get. Because now They're number two people that they want, the Colts. They want Tyler Warren and they want Malachi Starks. And guess what?
They're
We
both
didn't
gone.
give them either
They're
of them.
both gone.
We did not give them either of them.
So
So in the 14th pick, looking at a team that needs a tight end, they need guard and center help because they lost both. They need edge rush and linebacker and safety. Look who's available. We
I
have
was about to say, I
we
don't
have
think
two of the
Yeah.
best possible
we got
guys.
an
I
edge
don't
rusher
think-
or a linebacker.
they're gonna go line.
He says Campbell, and I think I
Yeah, I
agree
agree.
too. You have to go with the highest possible player, and Jahad Campbell is that player given what is going on in this circumstance. So the Colts will take Campbell as linebacker. Moving into the Falcons, guys. Falcons is a little bit different, right?
Yeah.
Offensive is not that falling apart over the offseason. Now
It really depends on Penix
Right.
and how well he develops in year
Penix
two.
coming into play. The only guy that I can mention off the top of my head that they lost who's a starter is their center, Dahlman.
Yeah.
So he went up to, I think, the Vikings, if I'm remembering correctly. He went up somewhere. Maybe he went to the Bears too. That's possible. He went to the Bears too. I can't remember off the top of my head. Either way, they technically could use a wide receiver. I like their wide receiver core though, kind of already.
Yeah.
With London and also Mooney there.
Yeah.
If Kyle Pitts could do any bit of production, he would be decent.
Right.
Yep.
And then
He's
they
so talented, but
He is so
just
talented.
just can't do anything with
doesn't
him.
show with the production he's put up the last 3-4
Everyone in
years.
chat is already beating me to the point they said you already know who they're taking. It's going to be James Pierce Jr., edge rusher.
Yep.
They need an edge rusher on
They do.
defense.
Yeah, they really
They just
do.
let Grady Jarrett. Do you know who that is?
Mhm.
Grady Jarrett. They
Yep.
let him walk. Guess where he is? Also the Bears. Yeah, the Bears signed everybody, dog. They had so much money. They signed everybody.
I was just about to say they had to have been rich.
If it
rich.
wasn't the Patriots,
had a lot of
it
cap
was the
room.
Bears.
Okay.
And then the Cardinals
I
probably
thought
come in
we
third.
had a lot of cap room.
No, the Bears had,
Yeah, they had a
way more.
ton.
They had
That's
so
crazy.
much.
So Falcons at 15 take James Pierce Jr. off the board. This now brings up the Arizona Cardinals. Now, Arizona Cardinals, I think this one is kind of more set in stone too. Now, in the offseason so far, they have been really digging at their defense. They signed Dalvin Tomlinson Jr. Is that a big ad? It's it's a pretty big ad, but
it's
it's
decent.
even bigger when you add Josh Sweat.
Yeah,
for the
Josh
left
Sweat
side.
was a big signing for
So you
him.
got Josh Sweat as well. That brings the defensive line together a little bit. I think that they could probably be looking to either do one of two things to cap off the defense here in the first round. You let me know which one is better because these guys are the two available, and it just makes so much sense. I'll bring it down a little bit, but I don't think there's anybody who beats this.
No,
So you've got Mike Green, who's been flying up the board. If you've seen him at any bit of combine, he's amazing. He looks crazy. So you have him. You cap off the edge. So he goes on the opposite side of Dalvin and whoever else they put in the middle. I think it's Lopez is his name. And then you have Sweat. Or,
Yeah, it is Lopez.
Lopez. Okay. Or you go Will Johnson and you start to lock up that secondary with Buda Baker in the backfield. They didn't make a ton of moves there. Asante Samuel Jr. might potentially be signing there. You know Asante
I
Samuel.
do. So, and I know Samuel Jr.
You know
too.
Samuel Jr., okay.
So, if I would say if they don't get Jr., get Johnson. But if they do get Asante Samuel Jr., then they should definitely go Mike Green because Mike Green is.
Oh, Lopez must have left in free agency. Okay. Thank you, Ray. Okay. Well, I do think that
if
secondary.
that's the case, then I might definitely go Green then.
Okay, going Green. That's the best available player, and that also caps off their edge. Like you have Josh Sweat and Mike Green on either side, Dalvin Tomlinson to plug the middle. I think that's pretty great. That solidifies that position in the first round. for them.
Yeah.
So I like that.
Oh,
pick.
before you click on
Yeah.
Mike Green, there's a kid from South Carolina. If we can scroll down a little bit.
Yeah.
He was also an edge rusher. Or is it Texas A&M?
Texas A&M has Nick Scruton, and then the South Carolina guy is Demetrius
So
Knight.
there's two from, I think there's two from Texas A&M. Go back up.
Okay. There's also T.J. Sanders. Yes, Shamar Stewart.
Shamar Stewart has been mocked higher, even higher than what we've seen.
They're saying
So-
they're saying in chat D line is probably the best because of how thick the edge is. There's so many edge guys, so they're saying in
Yeah.
chat they're like, dude, they should go for the best D lineman and cap it off. Which in that case would be Kenneth Grant because they are right. If you look,
Yeah.
if you type in edge, if you
I
type
mean,
in
yeah,
edge,
right now
it is.
they're like
There's-
the
it's-
first.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Why doesn't it come up when I type? That sucks. Thanks a lot, PFF. Make me do it the hard way. Like, look, 13, 16, 24, 26, 32, 41, 45, 50, 53.
Yeah.
All the top
There's
ranked-
so many edge
There's so
rushers.
many
No,
edge
there- yeah.
rushers. So I think I agree with chat, and I will drop building on the secondary for now and complete my defensive line in the first round with Kenneth Grant.
I'm not mad at that.
I think that's
Not mad at that.
probably
Not
the
mad at that.
smartest move.
Not mad at that.
Moving into the
Smart pick for the-
Bengals now. The Bengals, I'm a little bit worried about what they could potentially take because it's obvious with those signings that this has to be all defense.
Yeah, 1000%.
They
It
gotta
has to
go.
be
They
all
gotta go
defense.
defense in the first
Yeah.
round.
So
and
it-
I think that they're more than likely going to go edge.
The
Because-
edge
Yeah.
line,
If
Trey
they go
Hendrickson
edge-
doesn't come back.
Yeah.
Sam Hubbard,
Hubbard.
retired.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
they
So-
probably go with Mike Green here.
I think Mike Green goes to the Bengals. That's a pretty easy pick. Now,
Not far from Cincy.
what's that? Yeah, we do. We're talking with them here. So this next pick, they wanted Will Johnson or Mike Green, but yeah, we went with Mike Green. So for the Seahawks, yeah, Pop says Will Johnson or Stewart for this pick would probably be the best ones. Now that's an edge rusher.
This is like where I've seen a lot of mock drafts.
Mm-hmm.
This section that we're doing right now is edge rusher heaven. A lot
Yeah.
of teams just kind of going edge rusher right here.
filling in
Like-
for what you
Yeah,
need.
pretty much just fill in the blank with the best available edge rusher.
Seahawks with a wide receiver, Terry thinks. I don't know. For what they had, they signed Marquez Valdez-Scantling. So that's their wide receiver, too, at the moment. They've got Jake Bobo, and they've got, JSN.
JSN.
I could see them going with the wide
Hancock
receiver,
now.
but not in the first round. I do think that they do attack the edge rusher position purely because they need an edge rush to finish off, and they just brought DeMarcus Lawrence in as a mentor. He's going to come in and teach that new person. You know what I mean? So why not add an edge rusher now? It is one of their top 3 needs. They do need offensive line, but offensive line is going to be available for them later in the draft. We just took a look at that.
Yeah.
There's tackles and guards the whole way through the
whole way
second and
through,
third
yeah.
round
Yeah.
that are going to be available. And the Seahawks have 2 seconds and 2 thirds.
Oh,
They have
wow.
the
I didn't-
Steelers second.
Oh, that is right.
And
Yeah.
they have the Raiders third, which is
Oh,
a high
man.
third. So they're going to
Yeah.
have time to
Yeah.
fill those positions.
They
At
do.
this point in time, it's got to be the best available player. In chat, they're saying Hawks with O-line or D-line hit linebacker in the 3rd round. I kind of agree with that. So looking at D-line or O-line here, they have Nick Cross. I'm playing as the Seahawks in our Madden League, so I actually know what the Seahawks kind of look like. They have George Fant, who they let go, so they do need a tackle or a guard because they can flip between the guys they have. They have been adding offensive linemen over the last couple of years. This says guard. I don't think they really need guard as much as they now need to fill in another tackle position. Not Nick Cross. I know. Red. I can't remember his first
Jordan
name,
Love.
but it's Cross, though. Anyway,
Julian Love.
Julian Love is a safety.
Oh,
Yeah,
What were we talking
I
about?
said Nick Cross. Nick Cross is a safety for the freaking
that's why.
Colts.
That's why I'm thinking.
But I think they go with a tackle in this position or an offensive lineman. And the best one who is available is going to be either Josh Simmons or Kelvin Banks. Everyone loves Kelvin Banks, but offensive linemen out of Ohio State, I think, are just a plug-and-play type of player.
yeah.
That's what they have been over the years. So I am in this position going to probably go with Josh Simmons. Now, taking a look at his grading just real quickly, you can see that he's not the greatest in his run blocking, but his pass blocking he is a little bit better at. So hopefully
That's kind of normal with tackles,
yeah,
though.
hopefully
Yeah.
for Sam Darnold, this adds another piece for him, though, in the pass game because he needs time to throw the football.
Yeah.
So with this pick, I am going to go with Josh
All
Simmons
day.
for them. We've moved into the Buccaneers. Buccaneers let a lot of guys go.
Yeah.
They kind of cleaned house a little bit. Tyrone Shankoff, or whatever his name is. He has like the longest
Yeah.
name ever. He's out.
So a
They
lot
need-
of their needs are on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I was
Lo-
about to
most
say,
of their
yeah.
most if not all of their needs are on the defensive side of the football. In this case, do you see them going edge? Do you see them going? I mean, Will Johnson is still sitting.
I
there.
was
think,
just about to
I
say,
think they snagged Will Johnson here.
You think so?
'Cause
Yeah.
he's kind of fallen.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's falling, and I can't see him falling past this,
Everyone,
especially if he's still there. Like,
everyone in chat saying big letters. Will Johnson, you got it, guys. Buccaneers take Will Johnson, 19th pick. He fell a little bit, but that's not bad. Let's just keep Will Johnson there until the Saints go.
Quick scroll, show the whole list again. A couple people have been.
Oh, yeah. Let me give you the whole list of who is left, guys. So at pick 20, to finish off the first round, the top guy is going to be Donovan, who I can't
And
pronounce.
then the list of
Oh,
picks,
who we
too.
picked. Oh, I'm sorry.
Like some people missed a part, like they're wondering. who
Yeah.
missed it, for example.
Let me see if I can even. I don't know if I can do that at this point in time.
Yeah, just
There-
scroll
Oh,
up.
like this. I see it. Sorry, I just didn't see it. My bad.
Yeah.
But this is who we got so far, guys. Sorry. Starting with number 1, I'll just go down the list real fast so that we can catch up for you. Titans took Cam Ward with number 1. Number 2 was Abdul Carter to the Browns. Number 3, Shedeur Sanders went to the Giants. At 4, Travis Hunter went to the Patriots. At 5, you had Mason Graham filling in the defensive line for the Jaguars. Number 6, Raiders steal Ashton Genty early, lock up their linebacker position. Will Campbell goes 7 to the Jets.
Running back position.
What did I say?
Running back.
Linebacker.
Oh, my bad. Will Campbell goes at tackle at
Those
number
letters are
7.
small.
He's going to fill in and be a blocker for Justin Fields, newly acquired. 8, the Panthers went with the best available offensive guy outside of Tet McMillan, and they went with Tyler Warren. Subsequently, with the next pick, the Saints went with Tet McMillan. Maybe they'll make that hurt for the Panthers in the future with that pick because they picked right after them. Number 10 was Malik Starks to the Bears. Number 11, Jahad Barron. He went to the San Francisco 49ers. The Cowboys added an offensive piece to go beside CeeDee Lamb. That's Luther Burden III. The Dolphins took a tackle. They might move him into the interior or move somebody else into the interior. At number 14, Jahad Campbell went to the Colts because they need a linebacker. He's the best available one who was there. Edge rusher James Pierce Jr. went to the Falcons. Then following that, it was the Cardinals taking Kenneth Graham, the best available defensive lineman. Mike Green, who's a little controversial for some people in chat, was the pick for the Bengals at edge because we're not sure if they're going to keep Trey Hendrickson or not. 18th pick was Josh Simmons. That went to the Seahawks. They're going to fill in their offensive line. They missed out on some offensive linemen in free agencies. They're going to add him here. 19, we had Will Johnson. That's the cornerback from Michigan. A lot of Michigan players off the board early for us. And now we are at pick number 20, which is the Broncos. Broncos, I'm not even going to look at defense. I want to look at only offense for the Broncos, and I'm not going to lie, a name sticks out very heavily. I want him on the Steelers, but I think he gets picked here. Who is it? It's Amik Mbuka.
I was just about to
They-
say that. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
almost
I
certain
could
that they
totally
snake-
see.
Yeah, I totally
Can
see
totally
them
see the Broncos taking Ibuka at
1000%.
20.
We can't
Yeah.
Yinzer out. We can't Yinzer out here. Paul, Porky, what's up, Dave and Porky? Haven't seen you in a minute, brother. What is up, man? Distance, looks like you're a Steeler fan. So are we. So our pick is up next. Help us take that pick. But yes, I think we're all in
Yeah,
agreement.
we all
Bo
think
Nix gets an item.
Ibuka. Yeah, they need a wide.
Yeah,
they
they
need
need
another
one,
wide receiver other than Cortland Sutton.
Yep.
Good, brother. Good, brother. I'm glad you're in here, Dave. Trayvon says, I more think about it when I want the Steelers to trade down before the Rams and take Dart and get a second. Okay, I could possibly see
That's
that.
exactly what I said, man.
Yeah, we
Like-
have been talking
But-
about that.
That's exactly
like,
what I said.
Dart is, I mean, he's ranked below a lot of other guys. I mean, I understand he's being average draft picked here, and these numbers mean absolutely nothing. Just let's take a look here because we're on the Steelers. This is our team. Here you can see the overall grade over per year. Here is his comparables for 1 year. I can scroll, though, through the first couple guys. Let's go back
I like
up.
him, but Milrow is still on the board.
There are, like, a couple other quarterbacks who are available. I don't like Riley Leonard very much. I'm not going to lie. I don't
Yeah,
like
I
him
don't
very
like-
much at
Milrow
all.
is still on the board.
Milrow is there, but he had a horrible combine.
I don't care.
He did. He
I
had a
don't
horrible
care.
one.
What is the combine? Like, I get it, but the combine to me is like the Pro Bowl.
I hear you, and you're absolutely right. I don't think the Steelers will take a quarterback in the first round.
No,
No,
I
I
don't-
don't see them doing that.
I
either.
don't see them doing that at all.
But
though
we need a quarterback, and I would be remiss.
I just don't want them to use the first round pick on any of these quarterbacks right now.
I agree.
A lot of
agree.
Steelers fans joining us here right now. Let me read a couple of them off to you. Distance says he wants Harmon. Harmon is a tackle. I'm sorry, a D lineman. Interior D lineman. Yeah, tackle. I was right.
We do need
remember we
D line.
Yeah, we said
We
that
have
too.
Cam Hayward,
So-
and that's it.
Yeah.
really.
So we have
Like-
that. So here's the picks between the Yinzers who have joined in. And Yinzers, what's up? We're from Pittsburgh. Make sure you slap us a follow. We're a Pittsburgh podcast talking about football all the time. But what we want to like kind of go through here, what they're saying is either D line or trade back to get a second round pick, maybe an additional third or fourth round pick. Take Jackson Dart in the second round. Draft nobody in the first round.
Who do we trade?
No, I
though?
see. I don't see. So I don't see the Steelers. That's a hypothetical, me saying that the Steelers will trade out of the first round, they should take this Harmon kid.
You think they should take Harmon because they also have people like Matthew Golden, Amarion Hampton.
Yeah,
we
no.
don't
With
need a
with the
wide
trade,
receiver
with
right
the
now.
trade, we
Right.
need help in the trenches, especially in that D line.
We really
And for the
need
sake
a.
of your list, it's going to be easier if you just pick people and don't try to make up a trade that you. 'Cause
Yeah.
people like
Oh,
that,
yeah,
they're
yeah,
forced
yeah.
them off.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
not gonna.
absolutely.
Yeah, we're not gonna.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're not gonna try and do trades.
So between, yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Paulie. Between Darius Alexander and Derek Harmon, those are the two best available on
I
this
like-
board.
I like
don't
Harmon.
Derek Harmon.
Really?
Yeah, look at his stats year over year. He's not graded very high. I mean, 83 capping out at his highest score. He's a pass rushing grade of 86. His true pass set rush grade is a 91. That's all pretty good. He only wins pass rushes 17% of the time. He's an 80 grade at defense, or run defense, sorry. But then you have... I mean, those aren't terrible numbers. I get it. But if you take a look at some of the other ones, and guys, I know that not all of you are Steelers fans, so we won't take too much time arguing about it, Yinzer style. But you do have other big name players available in here, like
Oh yeah,
these
Walter
players.
Nolan.
Nolan is great run stopper, not as good on the pass rush. Are you trying to get a guy who
No,
stuffs
yeah,
the run?
we need a run stopper.
Right? Isn't
Yeah,
that what we're about?
Yeah, we do.
I was thinking.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking we
After,
were going after
yeah,
a...
no, we're not going after
Yeah.
a pass rushing
Because
team
we
or a
got guys on the
defensive
edge
player.
that can rush the
Exactly.
passer.
Because
With T.J. Watt and Highsmith.
Yeah, yeah.
I think
So-
Walter Nolan is the better
I like-
pick.
I think. Well, I think I agree. I agree
Yeah, I'm
that
not
Walter
mad at it.
Nolan is the better
Yeah,
pick.
looks like actually most of the chat is saying that Walter Nolan is a better pick too. So we're gonna go ahead with him. I think that he fits the scheme better of
Yeah.
what the Steelers.
Yeah,
gonna be
I'll be
looking
happy.
for.
I'll be
what we
happy
wanna
with
do.
that pick.
Yeah, I'm not mad
Absolutely.
at that at all.
Now we're at the Chargers. Chargers. It's pretty well built here. They got Joe Alt in the 1st round last year. Doesn't look like they're going to need offensive line very much. They brought back Khalil Mack. They got rid of Joey Bosa. He's now
Yeah.
on the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
But they are a pretty well stacked team.
Yeah.
I could see them
So-
maybe going wide receiver
I was just
here,
about to say they're more than likely going to go wide
or
out.
tight end.
No, I was
But yeah, they're
Loveland
Loveland,
from Michigan going to the Chargers
So,
here.
okay.
chat, let us know. Type in chat right now what you think for the Chargers. I am personally thinking that it is between Matthew Golden and Colson Loveland. Those would be my two players. Looks like a lot of people
So
in here are
I
saying
think
Loveland.
with Harbaugh's system,
yeah.
they're gonna go with the big tight end from Michigan, who he
Oh,
just
no,
coached, who
yeah.
he
No,
coached,
I
just
thought-
coached
Yeah,
a
that's-
year
that's
ago.
Sold. It's sold.
No,
Loveland
You know,
is
so
better.
if Loveland is there, he's gonna take Loveland
Absolutely.
1,000%.
because
Loveland
that's
is
his
the
guy.
pick. Now,
Yeah.
we're
And he's
on-
good. He's good. He's not as good as Tyler Warren in my opinion, but he's still good.
No, he
still
is-
first
no,
round
yeah, I
worthy.
agree.
Still first round worthy.
For the Packers, this one gets a little bit harder. We actually have a couple little harder ones as we round out the draft here today, guys, for this first round. First, talking about what they got rid of and what they could potentially need. Now, Jair Alexander's on a $22 million contract. Last year of that deal, he could be traded before the season. He'd be traded, at a deadline of some sort. Do you think they go cornerback in this situation? They obviously gave us Preston Smith
Yeah,
towards
they
the end
do
of the
need
season
edge
for a
rusher.
seventh-round pick, so they could need an edge rusher as well. Wide receiver is obviously a big thing for them, but they want a high-end talent wide receiver. They can't just keep drafting
I mean,
rookies,
Matthew
right?
Golden from Texas is nice.
Do you think
He ran
What
a
puts them over the
4.3
edge?
4.39
Right.
in the 40.
what puts them over the edge?
What puts them over the edge?
Is it a wide receiver, or is it solidifying defense for the Packers? Chat, let us know. What do you guys think?
You know, I would like the Golden's the flashy pick. It's the flashy
I always like
pick.
to build around my guys.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and
you're running with
Okay.
love.
I do
so-
like their wide receiving core up there in Green Bay with Jalen Reed, Christian Watson. If Watson can stay healthy, like not have any injuries at all, I think he could be a top 12 wide receiver in the league.
Okay. A couple things from chat here. Ben says he likes Harston out of UK or Donovan out of BC. At this pick for the Packers, he thinks that they'll go edge. Next guy down here, Rald, says that defense is going to be the thing that puts them over the edge. It's not going to be adding another offensive player from first round of the draft. Yeah, a lot of them are saying it looks like defense would be the play. The Packers apparently really like the Oregon DT, who we were just talking about
Yeah.
a moment ago. He's more of a pass rushing DE, though. We just looked at that just a second ago. He's not the run blocking style.
Yeah.
So do you think that that could be a possible look for him to go interior defensive line? Then they lock up players like they. I don't know if you've seen this.
I probably, because even though he's not great at run stopping, he is still pretty good. But he is still great at pass rushing, and that is something
Yeah.
that they really want.
And
up
getting
there
it,
in
getting
So-
at the quarterback is going to be a big thing this year for getting at Caleb Williams,
Yep.
getting at Jared Goff, getting
Yep.
in the backfield on those screen plays, those trick plays that the Detroit Lions take. I think Derek Harmon is probably a good pick here, or it could possibly be edge at the guy I can't pronounce his
See
name.
what Dame said?
What's that? Dame, Packers fan here. They're not going wide receiver. I will shave my head if they do. Dame, Dame will let us know. So we're kind of in between Derek Harmon here, or the guy we can't pronounce his name out of Boston College.
We've already kind of ruled out wide receiver just from talking amongst ourselves.
Realistically, we're at the point that we think it's going to be either a defensive
Yeah.
lineman or cornerback. Do you think that cornerback it would be a reach right now? Do you think it would be more smart for them to go for a pass rushing interior
think-
defensive lineman or an edge rusher?
I think you pronounce it Easy Anaku.
Easy
Easy Anaku.
Naka. Okay. Yeah, let us know what you think. As
I'm
a
not even
Packers
going to
fan,
try. I'm just
Packers-
going to call him Donovan E.
Or is that Easy at a root?
Yeah, I'm not even going to try.
They would take.
Do they take Donovan E?
They think he takes the edge that they.
I think they would also lean to an edge rusher, losing Preston Smith
Right.
Yeah.
and the other guy who went to they had another one opposite of Preston Smith as well, who they let walk in free agency.
I
last
mean,
year.
they have Van Ness on the team, but he hasn't really panned out that much.
Yeah, well, he
Luke
was
Van Ness.
he was a rookie as well.
Not last year, the year before he was.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, yeah, so he hasn't really panned. I think they go edge as well.
Yep, Dame says they go edge. That's what we took for him. So now we are on to the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota Vikings just traded for Jordan Mason the other day. So it says they need running back. They don't.
And they
This is not
re-signed
updated.
Aaron Jones.
And they re-signed Aaron Jones, exactly. So taking a look for them, looks like DB is going to be something that's a need and a fill, and
Or
then
D-line.
also interior defensive lineman. And I think it's pretty easy for us to just
yeah.
go ahead and go with Harmon in this situation. Flock, before we take the pick, was there anybody specific that you thought that the Vikings would be taking? I think they'll go interior defensive line. I really think that's the move for them.
Yeah.
Edge rusher-
Everybody up there is going to need that.
I just feel like we're at the point in time that everyone is going to follow after the Eagles, and they are going
Yeah.
to build from the trenches out.
Yep.
And that's just how teams are going to be built, because that's what wins championships. Sorry. But I think Derek Harmon is a great pick for the Vikings at this point in time. Now moving into the Houston Texans, I think this is an easy pick.
I think they take Banks Jr.
Yeah,
here.
I think they take Banks Jr. That's the easy because they
Yeah,
traded away.
they just got rid of Tunsil.
Yeah, exactly. So we
so
fill
they
in that
need a-
position
yeah.
there. We've moved into the Rams. Ben, this is your team. I think that realistically for them, it's looking at maybe cornerback help. They had horrible cornerbacks
Yeah, I was about to
last
say,
season.
yeah.
Like, but it might be too early
Yeah,
for
that's
cornerback at
it
this
might
point
be
in
because
time.
the highest guy was a safety.
Right. At this point in time, I mean, they can continue to build on the defensive line, but they don't need it. They have a great young defensive
No, they
line.
drafted really well last draft
I could
with
see,
Verse and Fisk.
I could see them going Jalen Walker here.
I was about to say,
You know,
maybe
out
a
of
linebacker,
Georgia,
yeah.
a linebacker out of Georgia. They just lost hope.
Oh my God, he's still on the board.
He's
He's
still on the board.
He's predicted from Mel Kiper drafts, mock drafts. He's like going like top 15.
Yeah, Jace, we got you with Harmon on that last one.
So
DB.
if Walker's still there, I would take Walker.
Yeah, I think
Like-
that either Walker or Shamar Stewart would be the pick here.
Yeah.
You know, to be completely
I'm
honest.
going Jalen Walker.
And I think Jalen Walker, because they need more of a linebacker than they need an edge rusher.
yeah, I
So
agree.
that fills in that position there. They don't value linebacker. Yeah, I know they don't normally value linebacker. They have been playing with players like that Hoach, who I just mentioned, was actually one of their defensive tackles who's actually just fast. They had him play
Yeah.
middle linebacker, too. And it was like,
Yeah.
bro, you ain't really, like, good at this. Like, what, you're just filling in there? Like, I don't know. Rams have a different scheme and a different outlook on things. Moving into the Ravens, you know the Ravens are probably going to go edge, I think.
Do you think so?
Taking a look at what their team has, they just lost. Okay, they could go interior defensive line too. They just lost Michael Pierce, big bowling ball guy. You know, he just left in the offseason.
I still have Matt Abuke.
They have Matabuke, but you got to have more than one man on the line, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if this is a place for Alexander. Chat looks like they're saying Alexander in here. I could see
that.
I could see that being the pick, but I just want to scroll down through here just the couple other picks of who they could potentially sign.
They might take Stewart from
I was thinking it's either
A&M.
Stewart
or Williams.
Darius Alexander, or Nick Scruton for me. That would be my three picks. They're saying Michael Williams would probably be the pick there. Ravens need edge or cornerback. You are very
I was just
right.
about to say, if it's not an edge, it's got to be a corner.
Right, and at this point in time, it's got to be the best available pick.
Yeah.
And that is probably, I mean, it's between Shamar Stewart and Michael Williams, but I think they take Michael Williams in that situation. Which brings us to another team who needs an edge and this just fills in. We kind of already know. Yeah. What do they want to do on the opposite side?
They need someone opposite of Hutchinson.
They need someone opposite of Hutchinson. You bring in someone like Shamar Stewart. Dude, this is a pass rusher.
Yeah.
This man is a pass rusher. He is not a run guy. He doesn't have the highest pass rushing grade. It looks like he only
had one sack
all season.
His entire college career. But it's different in college football.
Who would you rather have? Maybe Nick Scruton is maybe their better pick there because he is more of the pass rusher. He had a 17% win rate and only a 7% win rate on the run side. It looks like he might be the better of the two. He had a decent grade against some good schools here.
I mean, both these guys are pretty damn good.
I think so, too. Looking at the trends, it looks like he was supposed to go maybe potentially to either the Eagles or the Bears. But I think Nick Scruton might be the better pick. What do you guys think here? They don't think they're taking defensive line in this situation for the Detroit Lions. Shamar Stewart is going earlier, a couple of people are saying. Yeah, that's possible. He doesn't have a lot of
Yeah, I've seen him mocked pretty high.
Would you say that he should go higher than his teammate Nick Scruton?
They're kind of going around the same
area. That's what I was thinking, and I think
but they're both going higher than what we're doing.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I think that if you were the Detroit Lions, would you want a pass rusher or would you want to run stuffer?
I would run a pass rusher.
You would want a pass rusher. That's what I was thinking. I think Nick Scruton.
Again, like I said, up there right now, what you want on your defensive line really is a lot of pass rushers because they're going to be doing a lot of passing.
That's what we were just talking about with the rest of their division. Too.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
We were
up
just
there,
talking about
like
that.
everybody. So,
moving on to Washington in the 29th pick, guys. We only have 4 picks left on here. They are all saying Stewart. Stewart is just the repeated pick here, and I think that kind of makes sense.
It definitely
that makes sense.
You know, fills in. They traded away Montez Sweat 2 years ago. Now you got your fill-in person for that in the first round. Easy peasy pick there. Moving on to the Bills. The Bills, it's all defense for the Bills.
Yeah.
The Bills went and got Josh Palmer, so they filled their wide receiver spot, which is why Matthew Golden is still available. And I really think that they need to continue defense.
Yeah, I think they go corner, though.
Corner?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what the top available corner would be.
I know that it's lower on their ranked list.
It's not really that bad.
Amos.
Trey Amos out of Ole Miss is the top available, or Harston out of UK. Yeah. So he's got an 85 grade. He's got an 85 pass coverage grade, 75 on man's, 78 on zone though.
Harston from Kentucky's nice.
Yeah, I like that pick.
He was nice. It doesn't look like he had the best year in 2024, but I mean, it was a pretty tough year in that division. It's SEC, right? UK.
Yeah.
So you're playing the best teams in the NFL. So do you think that cornerback is definitely the look for the Bills?
I think so for them.
Not the NFL. He's playing the best teams in college.
Terry's saying, okay, there's a couple Bills fans in here, and they're saying we're crazy. They're absolutely going to take Matthew Golden and line him up with Josh Allen.
That's because Matthew Golden.
It makes sense.
Fallen.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
And I don't see the Chiefs or the Eagles taking him. So I think we have to back off of everything we were saying. As much as they need defense, I think they go the Bengals route.
Yeah.
And they just make their offense really good and try to fix the defense with Band-Aids. You know what I mean?
Because Keenan Coleman, their first round rookie last year, wasn't like.
No, he wasn't bad.
He wasn't bad, but he wasn't good.
Yeah,
he was somewhere in between.
Yeah, and he was injured a lot of the season.
Yeah, I was about to say
Yeah.
he got hurt.
And so that just leaves them with Shakir.
They got Shakir. They lost No Shoes. He went to the
No Shoes is gone.
Patriots.
Amari Cooper's a free agent and old.
And then they got Josh Palmer.
Yeah, so they're going to go wide receiver.
Boom. It's Matthew Golden. I think that was the right pick anyways. We kind of got sidetracked on the fact that we know they need a defense. But, I mean, if you're going to pay your quarterback $300 million, get him some fucking or
build around your guy.
get him some stuff.
Get him some wide receivers.
Now, looking at the next team who's on our clock here, this is the Chiefs, everybody's
Literally,
least
I don't
favorite team.
care about them.
Exactly. Everyone hates them.
Right.
But I do think that the Chiefs need to start looking at rebuilding.
They need O-line help bad.
They need line help bad. So that's why I wanted to
It
pull
was
up
the
interior.
first time I ever seen Patty Mahomes like.
well,
actually frustrated.
since the Tampa Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So taking a look at it for them, guys, they need tackle and guard. There is a good guard available out of Alabama, Tyler Booker, best one in the draft. Also, they could get some tackles who are available. Here.
I say they go with the guard from Alabama.
Yeah,
I
was
think
about to
so,
say,
too.
I think they're going with a guard.
I think they fill in Tooney's spot with this guy. They brought in a tackle in the offseason, so I think Tyler Booker goes in this position. I think it's just easy. Ben in chat here, who's been with us throughout the entire thing, thinks they would have gone with one of the tackles because they signed one in offseason and they have one on the roster who's decent as well already. I think that they just go ahead and go with filling in that guard spot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They go guard there.
And now with our last pick,
With the Super Bowl champs.
with the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles pick, I think that they go with Darius Alexander. And I think that the reason why they do
Another interior D lineman.
I think so.
what's his butt just retired this morning.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And
they got Jordan Davis and Carter.
right, but Carter can now play outside if you're bringing another guy in. That's I think what they want to do is put Carter on the outside. They want the Georgia guys blitzing the outside.
Yeah.
I think that's what they want. They want Georgia on the out. What's the other kid's name? I can't remember it right now. He wears glasses, and they took him in the end of the draft. If I could remember his name, he's the other guy they want on the outside. I think he's going to be the replacement for Josh Sweat. I think Darius Alexander is definitely the pick here. There's a lot of people in chat who are saying they're going to trade up and take one of the Georgia players. If they get Michael,
That only makes sense.
if they trade up and get Michael Williams, I think they have the entire defense outside of what the Steelers don't have.
Yeah. No. Yeah. If
You know what I
they
mean?
trade up, wow. If they trade him,
Ain't that crazy that they would have the whole team?
Yeah.
But in this situation, I think that they do go with the best available player because they're not going to take a Marion Hampton. They don't need a running back. They just went and got, like we were talking about, A.J. Dillon to back up.
And they got Barkley.
Superman.
So, like, yeah.
So, yeah, I think for them it's a pretty easy pick. If they were going to go wide receiver, that was a maybe with Mayo Manor, but I don't think they do. I think they go best available. They go Darius Alexander in this pick. You guys agree?
Yeah. Agreed.
Boom. Let's get a draft grade. Maybe it'll give us one. I'm not sure if it does, but hopefully
It looks like we're getting a grade.
Oh, boy. Nope. You did too many teams, and you will not get a draft grade. But, guys, here is a run-through of the draft for you, just to show you everybody we picked if you came in late here today. Do want to thank everybody for joining us for this. This was fun. Good time.
This was great.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun.
Thanks,
I knew
yeah,
it.
dude.
I was so excited.
You're going to have
I
to
was
come
like-
and watch some college b-ball with me.
No, that's cool. I'll
Guys,
definitely do that.
We will be going live. Make sure you're smacking that follow button. We go live for a absolute ton of different sporting events. We will be live for 99% of the March Madness tournament. We'll be watching along with you guys, giving live reaction, giving you bets. Make sure you drop us a message after you give us a follow. You'll be able to get into our Discord where we have all types of fun things going on. We have our brackets for NCAA.
Yep.
We have our fantasy football leagues. We have our Madden football leagues. We have all of our betting in there. All of our different viewers who watch share their bets in there. You can bounce your bets off of other people's heads. Chris, who's asking in chat here, he wanted to know where Starks went. And just to remind everybody, here is that list one more time. Malachi Starks to the Bears with number 10. Couple crazy picks in there, but I think we did a pretty good job covering the draft well. Some people are saying we took people too late. I think we did a pretty good job.
I mean, I would probably agree with sometimes taking people too late, but I think we were really looking at what the teams really needed.
We were trying to build off of the actual team.
Yeah.
I don't think Matthew Golden falls to the Bills.
No.
I don't think he falls to the Bills at all.
I mean, a lot of these picks, I would say, like, I don't think Starks has fallen to 10, honestly.
I honestly
And
think
I don't think Walker falls to 26 to the Rams. I think he gets picked higher.
Right, but for us, we didn't want to do
so-
any trades, which would
Yeah,
mess
we're,
the
yeah,
whole
we're,
thing
they messed
up.
up our whole thing
You know
up.
what I
and
mean?
just-
Yeah.
We just stuck with what the list is
The
for now.
flat basics.
yeah.
Because there are going to be trades. People are going to
Yeah,
be
there's
trading
definitely
up
going to be
and-
trade, especially this year. I think this
Chris,
year,
you're right. He is good.
people are going to be kind of aggressive for what they really want.
100%. Because there isn't a lot of greats in this draft, so I
So,
think if there is one,
yeah,
you go in
There's
after
like
it.
there's
Yeah.
like a few positions that have a bunch of talent in it. Edge rusher,
edge rusher, running back, is
running
also
running
very
back.
thick.
But running back, you can wait till day 2, day 3.
Dude, there's
That's
some
why.
guys.
Like-
That's why it's
Like,
it's so
There's
deep,
some
bro.
guys in the running back class in the late
So-
rounds to be watching for. Guys, I am going to give us our sign off. Make sure you smack the follow. Like I said, if you want to be a part of the Discord, it's a great time. There's a lot of information in there, and it's just a way to, talk with other sports fans throughout the week and also maybe link up with them in some video gaming or something of that nature. Check on your bets. Think if someone thinks it's a crazy bet or a good one. I want to thank everybody for showing up today. From my co-host, Ben, over here, and our special guest who we had on today, Nate. I want to thank you for coming out, dude. Appreciate your time. Appreciate you being here today. Guys, until the next one,
Thank you for
we will see you. Slap the follow button. Peace out.
Peace.